same thing everyone says every single time.
forget it.
It's 4 words.
Okay.
Previously. Heresy.
Recently on Dark Heresy.
You just fucking ruined it.
Everybody.
Previously on Dark Heresy.
Previously on Dark Heresy. Dark Heresy.
You have been sent to stay with Lord Lawrence Strophs, an old friend of Inquisitor Varax, whose niece had recently gone missing and had been involved in a new minor offshoot of the Imperial cult known as the Joyous Choir. Lord Strophs had sent a bounty hunter, Volin Orday, to look into Sire's disappearance after the Magistratum failed to turn up anything. Orday discovered the choir used devices known as harmony meters to scan their congregation to determine how far each member is along the path to becoming true, a term used to indicate that a member is blessed by the Emperor and on the path to happiness. Orday, what's up?
Where's my sheet?
I've just made you a new one, haven't I? There you go.
Thank you.
Orday acquired one of these modified auspex, giving it to Lord Strophs, who in turn passed it on to Inquisitor Varak. And it was discovered that within the device were elements of the previously encountered hybrid Xeno circuitry, enabling the so-called harmony meters to detect psychic activity. Once settled into Lord Stroph's manor under the guise of Lord and Lady Rains and their entourage, a recently married couple, and posing as cousins of the Strophs on honeymoon from distant Fenxworld, Lord Strophs and his Julia daughter, that's the wrong way round, Lord Strophs and his daughter, Julia, proposed elements of a plan they had formulated to gain access to the highly secretive Joyous Choir's upper ranks. A local noblewoman, Lady Borella, was due to host a party the following evening. Lady Borella was in fact a known member of the Joyous Choir, and knew a number of other members too, fellow nobles and the like. And Julia, as it happened, held an invitation to this party, and planned to take you along, Vlad and Mira posing as her cousins, with the rest of you as entourage members, in various guises, allowing you to potentially gain access to the Joyous Choir and work your way through to investigate the source of the harmony meters, and what the Joyous Choir were doing with them, and perhaps to find Lord Stroph's niece in the process. Your party split in two. Vladimir, Mira, and Ramsay stayed at the manor for the day to learn etiquette, dancing, and various other social skills, and to gain knowledge on how the Upper Ives society functions, to give you a better chance at blending in during the party. Meanwhile, Ishmael, Dick, and Dericles headed into the Underhive to meet with Stroph's man, Volin Orday. The bounty hunter had seemed nervous, explaining he had data which he believed linked members of the Magistratum, Hive Sibilus's law enforcement, to the Joyous Choir, and also suspected the choir were involved in the distribution of a potent new drug known as Farcosia, which, curiously, the Adeptus Arbites seem to have gotten wind of, and have been sniffing around after. Of course, drug trafficking is a crime usually deemed far beneath the Arbites. Orday also explained he feared for his life and warned you not to accept whatever job Strophs had offered you, obviously not knowing you worked for the Inquisition, as he feared some dangerous people were involved, and he planned on leaving the Hive as soon as possible. He offered to sell you an encrypted data slate which he believed would provide intel on the Magistratum's involvement, and he wished to sell this to you for 1,500 thrones, and said he would arrange a time and a place for the exchange with Lord Strophs. Orday then left the bar known as the Barking Saint, and after finishing your drinks... That sentence made no sense. You left. However, on the way out, Dericles managed to spill someone's drink. Dericles, in a not at all unreasonable manner, hacked the man in two with his chainsword, defying the age-old custom of first-drawn, unworn Styles bard. The entire bar erupted. Angry patrons began beating on the young cleric, who was luckily saved from their unarmed blows by his stolen stormtrooper armour. In the background, the staff and a number of other patrons had begun to draw weapons of varying type. With the rules of bar fights broken, anything goes. The fight came to a sudden halt, however, as a disembodied voice projected into the heads of all present, ordering them to cease their violence in the name of the Magistratum. Alarmed and obviously very wary of the law, the patrons ceased their hostilities, before the level-headed Ishmael dragged the young cleric out of the bar by the scruff of his neck, leaving behind only the strange tale of a heavily armed psychopath in fancy armour butchering an innocent hab worker whilst accompanied by a member of the Mechanicum and a ghostly voice in the air. Of course, strange stories such as these are rife in the mid-hive amongst the superstitious and the poorly educated, and few believe them. Most of the time.
Dun, dun, dun.
Meanwhile, Vladimir, Ramsay and Mira underwent a number of lessons relating to etiquette, customs and the like, and even engaged in some dancing before ordering suitable attire and perhaps a few fancier weapons for the group, in readiness for the party the following evening. As Ishmael, Dericles and Dick returned from the mid-hive, both Dericles and Dick spotted someone watching them from the shadows. Dick recognised who it was and gave them a small nod of the head. With the Acolytes once more all back at the manor, you sat and dined with Laurent and Julia Strohs. Laurent, it appeared, was exceedingly good company, especially as the wine began to flow, and he regaled you with some of the wild and wonderful tales from his time in the Imperial Navy, one of which included the story of how he met Inquisitor Varrak whilst hunting for a group of smugglers known as the Serrated Query, whose symbol he drew for you in his spilt wine, and you all recognised. In his drunken rambling, he added that, "We destroyed them! All of them! I got a promotion out of it, as a matter of fact, but old Varrak here, he never quite believed they were gone. What? Never!" Okay. It's about 9 p.m. As the servants take away the last of the dishes after your hearty meal, and Lord Stroh's slurred retelling of how he met the Inquisitor came to an end, Julia stands and smiles. "Right, come on, Father, I think you've had quite enough for one evening, don't you?" She moves over and gently takes the human arm of Lord Lawrence Stroh's, prying him up out of his chair. "Nonsense, young lady, the night is still young. Our guests haven't heard about the Battle of Tanstar yet," and he flails wildly and knocks his glass of wine over, spilling what's left of it. "Well, on second thoughts, perhaps you're right, my dear. Must be something I ate disagreeing with me. To bed, indeed. To bed!" And he staggers to his feet. Julia patiently supports her father with a smile on her face, and she says, "Good night, my new friends. Good night, cousins." She turns and leads her father away from the table, and then turns back briefly and says, "Breakfast will be served at 8 a.m. Sleep well." And then off she goes with her father. So, the date, according to the standardized imperial calendar, is 977.815 M41. It has been approximately 202 days, or almost 7 months, since you recovered the black cylinder and rescued Interrogator Medan. Mission 5. Rejoice, for you are true. Day 2. Okay, so is there anything... It's about 9 p.m. when the meal comes to an end. You need about 8 hours sleep. Breakfast served at 8. So realistically, if you wanted, you could get an 8 hours sleep and have a couple of hours each to do anything that you want to do in those 2 hours.
First thing I'm going to do is take my hand off Dericles' shoulder.
Okay.
So I've had it on there just because I don't think it's going to cause any more trouble now.
My kill fix has been satisfied
Your bloodlust has been sated for now.
for now.
Satiated for the time being.
So, anyone want to do anything in this 2-3 hours at push? Ishmael, theoretically, you can go with less sleep, but it will eventually catch up on you. But you can get by with 6 as opposed to 8 hours. As your potentia coil gets upgraded as well, you could basically almost remove the need for sleep eventually.
What was I doing last day? I can't remember. Was it?
You mean crafting wise?
Yeah.
I'll tell you. So, what had you done? You hadn't done any work on that yet. So, the things you were going to do was upgraded version of Thing, which you didn't do. Helmet for Vlad, which you've done a bit on. You've done the design part of modifying Vlad's helmet.
Yeah, I'm going to need more time for that, because obviously he's going to need it, isn't he?
You've been dismantling the Mourner's power sword to make Dick's Power Kaio Shog. You got a few
Power
hours
Shog.
into that. And that's it as far as my notes are concerned. There's a few other things that you haven't started. Oh, there was Deracles' armor as well.
Yeah, how far did, let me see if I check my notes. How far did I get on that?
Not very far. Let's have a look.
I'm just
You
trying to think if there's
finished.
anything I could actually do.
You finished the helmet for Deracles' armor. You were about halfway through the body. You haven't done the arms or legs. It's 3 hours per piece for the armor.
Yeah. So I've finished his helmet, haven't I?
Yep. Bearing in mind you haven't got the workshop with you.
Yeah. I've got an hour and a half left on his body.
Yeah.
According to my notes.
Yeah.
Would I be able to do it with the tools I've got with me?
Yeah, you just wouldn't get the. I mean, you're only reshaping the armor, aren't you?
Yeah.
You could do it with the general tools you have, but you just wouldn't get the plus 20 for the workshop.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna have a go at finishing off his body then.
Okay. So it's trade armorer test. You get plus 20 for it being a routine test, and plus 10 for your armorer, so plus 30 altogether. I haven't got roll 20 up.
Trade skill, armorer. You say I get a plus?
It's plus. It's whatever your trade armor is plus 20 because you've already got plus 10 armorer, haven't you?
Yeah. If I
So-
click on that on a thing, can I add plus 20 then? Will it?
Yeah, it should come up with a little modifier window.
Okay. Yeah. Submit.
Okay.
2 degrees success.
Rightio. Why is that being weird? Where's my fucking cursor? There it is. So that'll be, you've done that. We'll work out exactly what you've done to it at a later date because it takes quite a while. But it can be worn with no penalties. That would be about an hour and a half. So you could probably do another hour and a half to 2 hours of stuff if you wanted to. You personally, Ishmael.
Yeah, I'm gonna continue my research on upgrading the thing.
Okay. So give me a. Right. Okay. So you're just going to use that time for that.
Yeah.
So you're not actually working on thing. You're just researching it.
Just researching and like drawing up plans ready for. I know what I want to do, don't I?
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let me just mark that in here. Right. Okay. Is there anything else anyone else would like to do?
I would like to go and talk to the others what have done the etiquette training, see if I can get any pointers and tips and how I'm supposed to be behaving. I don't think we've been filled in, have we?
Okay. So you're all no, but you're gonna get a whole day before the party where you get to sort of do some of the lessons. Everyone will get a chance to do something, but
Okay.
you have to work it out between
Fair enough.
yourselves.
If that's the case, is there any entertainment in the place we are?
There is a hollow caster in the central room near where your rooms are, which is
Is that like
basically
telly?
40k TV. Yeah.
For KTV. Right. Okay. Don't want to waste my time with that. Actually, no. I'm going to go watch some 40k TV to verse myself on what's going on on the planet. Seems as I
Okay.
can't read yet. I'll have to believe what they're telling me is the truth.
All right.
And then I'm going to spend.
I'm going to head to the kitchen and look for some cookbooks.
Okay. So it's quite late at night. The only person in the kitchen as you enter is there are a couple of young lads, maybe 13, 14, and they're washing the pots. And they just turn around and stare at you, open mouthed, for a moment as you come in.
Good evening, gentlemen. Just looking for some cookbooks. Wouldn't know where the lady keeps them, would you?
Make a fellowship test for me. Ooh. The two lads both sort of look at each other for a moment and then look back at you and go, No cookbooks.
Let me re-roll that, Dave.
Okay. No difference, I'm afraid.
No worries. No, don't get my thing back. Can I just have a search?
Yeah, of course you can. So there's plenty of cupboards and drawers and things like that. If you just want to do a general rummage around, then give me a search roll.
Awareness?
Yes. Well, it'd be half your half your perception, unless you have, or is it intelligence search?
Search is perception.
Search is perception. So it'd be half your perception, unless you've got search.
I'm not sure if there is one in there. Oh, no, there is. No.
Having trouble there, James?
No, I'm just looking to see if there is actually a search in Only War or if it's covered by perception. Awareness.
It's slightly different, isn't it?
Nearly there. Might be. Who's keying up?
Say again.
Somebody was keying up.
I don't know.
Not even snoring.
Hey, from my heavy breathing. Move my mic away.
Oh.
Does anyone else want to do anything while James is trying to figure that out?
Yeah, sure. I'd like to spend a bit of time training Reg.
Sure. How much time?
What did you say? We've got a couple of hours.
Yeah, 2-3 hours
Yeah, yeah.
most.
I'll spend whatever time I can and still have a comfortable night's sleep. So.
Okay.
Dave,
Yes.
please can I turn subtitles on and try to learn how to read at the same time while I'm watching telly?
Make a tech use test.
Oh, dear. What is this? Turn subtitles on?
Yeah. Yeah, quite literally.
I don't think I've even got tech use. Where is it? Can't find it. Skill awareness.
If you haven't, it'll just be half your intelligence to fumble blindly at the controls because it's a simple enough machine.
I'm going to fumble blindly at the controls. 14 needed. I'll submit it.
Yeah. Oh no,
+2.
that's a fail, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, but because I needed 14.
Yeah.
It's close.
Okay. You managed to just turn it up really fucking loud, and it's basically a soap opera that you're watching. And no matter what you do as you're watching this, you don't manage to do what you're trying to do. You just keep sort of turning the volume up and down, and that's about it. And I was going to give a little nugget there, but I can't find something, so I'm not going to. I'll do it another time. Yeah, so you just watch TV for a couple of hours before bed.
Yeah, Dave, it says awareness, and this is to search an area for clues or to find hidden items.
Okay. So make a search roll for me.
Oh, just.
Okay, you found a book. Will you roll a d5 for me? Okay, it's quite a basic cookbook, but there's a couple of bits in there you think you might be able to learn from, and at least one recipe that you haven't come across before.
Cool. Well, I'll spend 2 hours down here, and then I'll take myself off to bed.
Okay, well, you're just going to read that book.
Yeah, just sit down here, have a little read, and then head off to bed when I finish my time.
Okay. Okay. I'll add that on later. That won't make a difference at the minute. Vlad,
Hello.
was there anything you would like to do besides training?
No, I mean, I'll spend all of my available time, give me a little bit of training.
Okay.
Um,
Leanne?
yeah, can I make some truth serum?
Yeah, you want to put some more time into your truth serum. You do have an apothecary's set of tools, so you can do this to some extent, but you won't have the full apothecary's lab, so you won't get as good a modifier as you normally would. It should still be pretty good though, because your intelligence is high, isn't it? So, truth revealed. That's truth serum. So it's minus 20. Current batch is plus 0. That's the one you've already done. So minus 20. No med suite. Plus 10 for your apothecary tools. Minus 20 for that. Right, let me start again. Minus 20. Minus 10. Minus 30. Minus 20. Seems harsh. It'll be your intelligence minus 20.
Okay.
If that's what you want to do.
What would that? What am I rolling against?
Well, whatever your intelligence is, minus 20.
If it's worth waiting.
I'd best double check that, because that seems unusual. So it'd be minus 20 for the rarity. Plus 10 for apothecary's tools. Minus 20 for no chem use. Plus, yeah, it'd be minus 20 to your intelligence.
I might wait till I get to apothecary.
Okay. What would you like to do then?
I got some books on me.
Yeah.
Have I read through them?
You have by now, but you can read them again, and you can read them so many times, gaining little bits of each. It's not as efficient as reading a new book, but you can still learn from it.
I'll read a book for a bit.
Okay.
And then do a bit of praying.
Which book are you reading?
The Subject of Saints 2.
Volume 2. Oh, you haven't read all of that one, actually. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
So,
read that then.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll read the end of it then. How long will that take?
You could probably finish it off in that time. You've read all the first volume, and you'd read most of the second volume.
All right, I'll do that then.
If you read right at the back of the book, it tells you what's going on anyway, the gist of it.
All right.
Read all of it.
Okay. So you've done some reading before bed. Dear wife, would you be so kind as to... oh, no, it doesn't matter. I've already got one. Thank you.
Okay.
Right. So we'll move on to the next day. Oh, yeah, sorry, I forgot to ask you what you were doing for some reason, Deracles. I hadn't written your name down. What were you doing for those hours? Just cleaning your chainsaw.
Maybe read a few scriptures as well. A bit of forbidden law, maybe.
Okay. Heresy. Heresy in the Stroph's Manor.
As he does tarot.
Right, I'll give you that for that, and we'll give you a little bit of that as well. Okay, right. Next day.
Change channel to the news.
You what, sorry?
Change channel to the news.
Yeah, I mean, you can watch news if you want. It's very, very heavily propagandary, the news in Hive's
I want
scintilla.
to see if we've popped up in it.
No.
I want to see if we've popped up in it.
No, you have not.
Okay. All right. That'll do me, and then I'm off to bed.
Okay. So, the following morning, seated once more at the breakfast table, Laurent looks surprisingly good for someone who drank as much wine as he did the previous night. The Strophs, Laurent and Julia, make small talk as breakfast is served to you. They ask how well you slept and suggested various sights and sounds of Hive Sibyllus that all visitors should see. But the moment the last of the servants leaves the room, Laurent immediately switches from jovial uncle to experienced military leader. Right, he says. Julia and I will make ourselves available to you for the remainder of the day. If you need to go over anything from yesterday, or indeed give some pointers to those of you who were absent for those lessons. Which reminds me, how did the meeting with Orday go?
He ransomed some information, which he says will be vital for us. Was it 1,500 creds? And he says he's got a meeting point and a drop-off point, but he says he's going to go leave this place because he feels it's too dangerous here.
Yes, he mentioned as much to me when I spoke to him.
It was very panicked when we found him.
Seemed jittery. Well, I haven't heard from Orday yet, but I trust the man. He's never let me down yet. I'm sure he'll be in touch sooner or later.
Okay, thank you. That was a resounding success. Nothing went wrong at all.
Oh, God, I'm glad to hear it, I suppose, yes. Julia...
I didn't do a single thing wrong.
No one died that we knew.
Julia suddenly speaks
All
up.
went off around a hitch.
Julia says, Lady Borella's soiree begins at 8 p.m, allowing about an hour's travel time, and the same again to get ourselves ready. We have plenty of time for some more lessons or anything else you wish. And Laurent...
I would love to dance with you.
Laurent says, I'll be leaving the manor about 4 p.m. I have a little engagement of my own. Not really one for parties.
Who said that?
The uncle.
Uncle Laurent. What?
Who?
Laurent Strophs.
Oh,
Okay.
Okay.
Julia says, right, well, Mr. Ferrier will be along a little later with your attire, and my man will hopefully be here soon with your rather curious selection of arms. Pincher, I need a drop of your blood for your bodyguard license. And he comes towards you with a needle in his hand.
I'm just going to get my knife out and take a quick slice out my palm and like, drip it at him. Here you go.
He just sort of looks at you curiously and goes, yes. And he sort of manages to suck some up off your hand as it's dripping down. And it drips all over the carpet in this expensive nobleman's house. And you can see him looking at it disapprovingly for a moment.
I'm going to give him a big thumbs up, say, no worries, while I squeeze my hand while blood dripples out a bit more. Get me a bit blasé with my hand.
Make a fellowship test.
It's okay. I'm such a nice guy. Where are you, fellowship? Oh, don't know why I'm using keyboard. I've got a mouse here. Submit.
Submit.
Yay.
Okay.
See?
Okay,
Lightning.
he as you do the thumbs up, he kind of involuntarily gives you a thumbs up back and just yes, quite, and then shuffles off with the syringe. So then Julia says, "Right, well, my, this is all rather exciting, isn't it? Where would you like to begin?" So
Oh, dancing.
you have about what? So it's about
Dancing.
9. You've got about 8, 9 hours before you need to start getting ready for the party. So what you need to do is decide amongst yourselves what lessons you want. I'll give you a rundown of what they all are in a minute. But bear in mind you've got Lauren and Julia present. So each one can do a different lesson simultaneously. You don't have to do all that time in one lesson. You can, have an hour here, 2 hours there, whatever. But just remember, one of them has to be with you, and there's only 2 of them. And Lauren leaves at about 4 o'clock. So I'll tell you what the lessons are. I won't, because I can't find a bit of paper. Right, here it is. So the lessons you've got to choose from, and obviously Vlad, Mira, and Ramsey have already had a bit of all of these. You've got etiquette, customs, dancing, and Lauren will also give lectures on the law and the magistratum and how they work.
Okay, well, I really need to know what my role is as a bodyguard to know how much I need to get. I remember you saying it last time, but just it hasn't been said to me. When he's doing the etiquette lessons, so I kind of need to be briefed on that, so I can make a decision based on that to what I need to do.
Okay.
What I need to go learn.
I think a recap on etiquette. I think a recap on etiquette would be useful for all of us. So I personally
Yeah.
can't remember too much, but that's more my real memory rather than my
Yeah.
Yes.
memory.
So you three, Vlad, Mira, and Ramsey, you all did 4 hours of etiquette each. Ramsey did really well. Vlad did pretty well. Mira did all right-ish.
If I did so well, why have I forgotten it all?
Don't worry about that.
Because it's now second nature. You'll just perform and make no mistakes, just because you've absorbed all of the information. You'll just know.
I think us doing what now probably definitely need etiquette and customs, maybe.
The other thing I wanted from Julia was kind of a rundown on some of the big movers and shakers who might be at this party, and some of the notables that we can expect to meet.
Okay. She says, well, I'm not exactly sure who will and will not be in attendance. There's certain people that often attend these things, and always, of course, the host will be there. Lady Borella will definitely be there. Other than that, I can't say for certain who will and won't be there besides us. Perhaps if we're lucky, one of the Lucid Court, that's something totally different. One of the Joyous Choir's counsellors will be in attendance, but I honestly don't know till we get there.
You have failed me for the last time, Julia. No, I'm not saying that.
Okay. So, decide amongst yourselves how you want to carve this time up.
Alright.
I reckon 3 at 1 now will need etiquette and customs.
And dancing lessons, perhaps?
I don't think I'll be dancing.
No?
No.
Oh, okay.
I only do the one dance, and that's the robot, and I put that down.
I think one thing that I do recall from our lessons last time is that some of the entourage might be required to do something entertaining. So I don't know if
I can chop people's heads off.
I don't know if anyone's got any party tricks that they want to bring out. Pinch you.
Dick might be able to do a few dance moves and impress everyone.
Well, it's just worth thought. Can you do anything amusing, Derek? No, lost him.
He's just reading a book.
Okay.
Hey, I can go as a sorcerer and spin plates.
Yeah. I forgot you said that.
Yeah, that was hard, wasn't it? Any sorcerers in here? Well, I can spin a plate.
I've got a thing, Anna, so I could have him come and like wave on my shoulder or something.
Entertain him with your drone.
Yeah, that's maybe a good idea. I like that.
Well, yeah, and yeah, so I think I need etiquette and customs probably, so I don't say anything. I do out.
Yeah, I mean, etiquette's a big one for me.
I mean, to me, I'd like half the time. 4 hours. We've got 8 hours, Dave. Did you say?
Yeah.
I'd like do 4 of each for whatever you guys think.
I could maybe do a bit more time dancing as well.
Yeah, we've
Maybe-
got 2 of them, though, aren't we? So
Like I said,
I'd
there's both Lauren and Julia, so one of them can teach one class and one can teach another. It's just up to you guys to decide how you do that.
Right then, so what do you want? You want customs and
etiquette.
customs and etiquette. I want etiquette and dancing. Does anyone else got anything that they really want to?
Customs
Sorry.
and etiquette.
Customs and etiquette. Okay.
And a little bit dancing, actually. I'll join in with dance lesson.
Because it sounds like they're the 3 things that we want to focus on, Dave.
So,
I think only Julia can do the dancing, can't she? And,
We'll do
yeah,
that last.
yeah. Okay. So
only
we'll do
Julia
that
can do the dancing, and only Lauren can do the law magistratum, but they can both do etiquette and customs.
Okay, so we'll maybe leave the dancing till after Strove's gone.
Well, law and magistratum, actually. That might be quite important. Maybe not for
I don't know.
behavioural
I've got
patterns.
Where have I
design
got
rules.
Since when did we care about the law?
We are the law.
I don't know.
So I don't know where I made my notes. Never mind.
Oh, it's in a notepad somewhere.
No, credible here coming out here. You got to know your enemy, don't you?
Hmm. Well, so we had a bit of law training anyway. So, but we can have a bit more if you want. So, so
I
wait
think
till after.
the main person talking is going to be Vlad anyway, isn't he? We're just there to back him up. So
Well, we don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, we honestly don't know what's going to happen when we get in there.
So one of the things you were taught in your lessons was, generally speaking, only the nobles should be speaking to the nobles.
Hmm.
It's considered bad form for entourage members to talk to a noble unless they are engaged in conversation first. So, if the noble comes up and asks an entourage member something, that's okay. But the other way around, it's frowned upon. But the entourage members are much more likely to be able to communicate with other entourage members from other groups.
Yeah, and they're like go-betweens, the entourage. So
Yeah.
So we're posing as the royals, me and
Yeah.
Alan. Yeah. All right.
You're
Yeah.
posing as nobles, yeah.
Yeah.
And the idea is Dickie's bodyguard, Dericles' is spiritual advisor. Ishmael
Yeah.
is there to confirm Vlad's purchases because he's posing as a sort of bit of a gun collector. And Ramsey is the valet.
All your spiritual needs, all of them, spiritual.
Of spiritual needs.
So,
Are you feeling faithful today, Dick?
Oh, full of righteousness.
okay, so how many hours have we got? How many hours have we got Lord Strauss for, Dave?
he's there till 4, so about 6 hours.
6 hours. Okay.
Can I make a deceive test for that answer? I'll just give Dericles.
Of course you can.
A deception test.
And
See-
Dericles make a scrutiny test in return.
Oh no.
Oh. It didn't go very well.
Oh god.
Yeah,
Bullshit.
you believe him.
Such a bad liar.
I feel reassured by your face. Carry on. Understand the
Right.
equivalent to him. Understand the equivalent to him.
And I'm going to try and make one back, but it looks a little bit like a crow.
something like that. Like,
Yes.
Yeah.
So what are you doing with your what are you
Okay.
doing with your time?
So what I think we'll do then, Dave, is if we spend the first 3 hours, we'll have Stroves doing law, and then Julia doing etiquette. And then for the next 3 hours, we'll have Stroves doing etiquette and Julia doing, what was the other one, customs?
Customs.
And then for the 2 hours after, we'll do dancing with Julia.
Okay, so everyone will do a bit of dancing. Then.
Everyone happy with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
so who's going with Julia's etiquette lesson?
I will.
I will. I will.
You don't need to know about the law, Derek. You are above the law.
Do I need to go as a bodyguard?
Yeah, sure. I mean, that's the one you wanted to go for, wasn't it?
Yep.
But you'll get the chance to do etiquette afterwards anyway, so...
If you want.
Yeah, I just wondering which order I'm going to go
I
in.
don't
So
need fancy meals, just bread, water, and my faith in the Emperor.
Your faith does honour to us all, young Derek.
Can I make a scrutiny test? See if he's bullshitting me.
No, well, you can do, but I'm not lying to you, Derek.
So who's going to Julia's?
I know
We've
you're
got Vlad, Mira, Derek
not, mate. You are
Lees,
true. You are faithful.
Dick.
I have faith, yes.
Dick.
Going to go for a slice.
So Ramsey, Ishmael,
Ballistic skill
I'm
test.
doing customs.
you're doing
Yeah,
the.
Customs. I think I was all right on the etiquette,
Oh,
so I'm joined
this-
for dancing and do.
This first 3 hours, basically, Julia's doing etiquette, and Laurent was going to do the law and the magistratum side of stuff.
Etiquette then. I'll do etiquette.
Oh, I'll go do the law then.
Okay.
I am the law.
And Ramsey.
Yeah, I'm off to go do law.
Okay. Right. So, Mira, I need 3. 3 rolls from you.
Do 100, yeah.
Yeah.
No. No.
Let's pass. Okay, so that is 2, 1. Okay. Ramsey, I need 3 intelligence rolls from you.
Cannot grasp this law bullshit. Cannot grasp it.
Okay, so that's 2, 4. Okay. Ishmael, I need 3 rolls from you, please. It's what you're rolling against. You're rolling against your fellowship for this one.
Oh.
We're in the wrong place, Ishmael. We should have swapped place.
Fellowship. Okay. Just a normal fellowship, yeah.
Yep.
3.
Okay, and another 2. 3.
How'd I do? Amazing. Consistently amazing.
So it's not as bad as what you think. Dick, I need 3 fellowship rolls from you. Derek Lees, I'll need the same from you.
So what do I need to roll, sorry?
3 fellowship tests.
Right. Ah.
1.
First one.
2, 3.
Go, there's 3 for me.
Johnny's are 3,
One more.
4.
There's one more, yeah?
No, you've got yours.
All right, cool.
Okay. Okay. And Vlad, if you're back, I need 3 fellowship rolls from you.
Very good.
I need a fate point on one of those.
If you want to.
On the worst, yeah, on the worst one. Oh, not quite as bad. Still bad.
Okay.
Ooh, consistently slightly out for me, Dave.
That's all right. It's not as bad as what you
That's okay.
think.
Yeah.
Dave, would I
yeah.
be able to make a reroll on my last one?
Yeah, if you want.
I'll do it. What have we got? Ah, passed with 4 degrees on that one.
Okay.
That's a good reroll.
Okay. Right. So that's your first 3 hours. So then the lessons swap. So who's doing customs and who's carrying on with etiquette?
I'm doing. Was that etiquette? Was it that one?
Yep.
I'll do customs.
I'll do a bit of customs.
Yeah, I think I'll go across the customs as well.
Mira.
I'm on etiquette.
Sorry, what were the choices?
Customs or etiquette? Etiquette is what you've just done. Oh no, you've just done law. So then there's etiquette or customs.
Customs.
Customs for Mira. Ramsey, you're staying with etiquette.
I'm off to etiquette.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant. Yeah, Dericles.
I'll go for customs.
Customs, it is. Okay, let's start with you, Vlad. Give me 3 intelligence rolls.
Actually, I might go etiquette. Can't remember how high I got it.
Etiquette's the one you need the most, I would say.
Yeah, I'll go for that.
Okay.
Sorry.
So what have we got, Vlad? So that's a big fail. That's 4, 1, 0, 2. Okay. Mira, give me 3 fellowship rolls. Ramsey, you're up next with 3 customs rolls, which will be intelligence.
Fellowship, because I'm doing etiquette.
Sorry, yeah. Fellowship. I've written that down wrong. Okay, so what have you got, Leanne? 2.
40, 29 and 29.
Some good rolls all in all there, Rowdy.
Yeah,
Perhaps
yeah, not bad, to be honest.
Yeah, I'll be happy with
I'm
that.
saving my fate points now for the actual.
I've got 2 left. I thought I'd just burn one doing that.
Okay. Okay. Ishmael, customs, yeah?
Yeah.
3 intelligence tests, please.
Wow. Data assimilated. Download
Yeah.
complete.
So that's 8. 12. Nice. Dick, you're doing
Intelligence.
customs, yeah? So intelligence.
Hey, I got one.
6. 9.
Dick's not very clever.
6. Yeah, Dick's
It's not clever,
really...
Dick.
Dick's really not quite got...
He's got his
The
pen
hang
and
of
paper in front of
customs.
him and he doesn't know what to do with it.
And Dericles, let's have 3 intelligence tests from you, please.
Okay. 2. Oh. Terrible rolls.
What you got? So that's 3, 1, Okay. Okay. And then the
I'll
last.
just, I'll just
oh,
hang back. I'll just hang back in the shadows.
okay.
For those rolls.
Right. So during all this, around midday, there's a knock at the door, and a servant enters the ballroom where you've all been training. And he says, "My lord, a delivery has arrived." And Lord Strauss goes, "Yes, yes, good, good. Bring it in." "It has been delivered in person, my lord." "Sean? Sean's here? Marvellous. Where is he? Come on, send him in. Send him in. Don't dawdle, man." The servant turns and disappears. Lord Strauss adjusts his jacket and stands bolt upright to attention, a serious look on his face. The servant returns, and following in his wake comes a tall, handsome man with long, shiny black hair tied back in a ponytail. His clothing is immaculate, and you recognise him immediately. It's Sean Wilson of Wilson's Wonderful Weapons. Behind him, a bulky-looking servitor trundles along, carrying a number of crates and boxes. "Wilson!" booms Laurent. "Stand to attention and face inspection!" Sean Wilson gives a slight sigh and a half smile and says, "Good afternoon, Admiral. It is a pleasure to see you again. It has been too long." "Indeed it has, my boy, indeed it has. And what's this Admiral nonsense? I'm retired, and besides, we've known each other far too long and been through too much together to worry about titles. Call me my lord." And Sean says, "Very well, my lord." "Oh, come on, Sean. Never had much of a sense of humour, did you? Laurent, please." "As you wish, Laurent." "Laurent, how dare you address a lord in such a manner? I could have you shot." In fine humour as always. "Oh, come on, Sean. Always were a bit stuffy, weren't you? Anyway, what have you brought me? My guests here are going to a party, and I need them to look their best. May I introduce my nephew Vladimir and his lovely wife Mira, visiting from Thanksworld." Sean Wilson turns and looks at you all, and freezes, his face struggling to maintain the shock of seeing you all here. "Are you all right, Sean? You look as though you've seen an orc." "Hang on, do you all know each other?" And Sean looks a bit panicked and goes, "Oh, well, of course. I bet it was that rascal Medan, wasn't it? Always has had a habit of letting the newer recruits into the Inquisition's worst-kept secret. How is the old scallywag? Still doing that thing with the 2 pistols? Still sniffing around every young woman in Civilis? Getting into fights with husbands over his, urges?" "No, not so much these days, my lord, and, I haven't seen him in some time," says Sean. "And yes, to answer your question, we have all met." "Good! Saves a lot of mucking about then. Let's see what we've got for them, shall we?" Okay, if you'd like to turn your attention to roll 20. Where's the thing? Where's the thing? Right, you should see a black screen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very black.
Sean Wilson picks a box up off the top of the pile carried by the servitor, and he begins to speak. Will you pass us a beer, please, Liam? While you're in there?
Johnny, mate, you've got some background noise that's
Alright.
that's always on. I don't know what it is, but it's
A heater.
it's mildly annoying.
That's why I do it.
Cheers, buddy. Appreciate that.
He takes this first box,
Yeah, that's fine now, mate.
takes the first box off the pile and says, "Freshly minted in Kea Adin Forge at great expense, I might add. That's not how he speaks. The Fate Bringer long pistol, a favoured dueling pistol amongst the nobility of the hive. Personally, I find its small clip size rather limiting, but they seem," and he looks at Ramsay, "strangely popular these days." He hands over the box to you, Ramsay, and it's a beautifully carved wooden box containing an exquisite example of the Fatebringer you've seen and used before. Although it's smaller, quite a lot lighter than the others you've used, and it has a mother-of-pearl grip and is brilliantly finished in a polished chrome effect. In game terms, it's the same as your other Fatebringer, except due to its slimmer build, it only has a 4-shot capacity, but it is best quality, which means it has +5 ballistic skill, never jams, and has +1 damage and penetration compared to your other Fatebringer. It weighs a lot less as well, and it costs about 2,500 thrones.
Oh well.
It's worth every penny.
He takes another crate from the pile. This one is a long box, about 2 meters long. He glances around the group and says, "Well, I won't struggle to guess who this one is for." And he heads over to Deracles. "Unfortunately, I was unable to fulfill the request to have it gold-plated on such short notice, surprisingly."
I'm just going to look down at my my toes and go, yes, yes, indeed, it was a moment of madness. I'm prone to them.
Yes, these sorts of things are hard enough to come by as it is, and generally aren't wielded by the sort of person who requires such ostentation. He opens the box and reveals the huge form of a massive, oversized chainsword. It's entirely black. Even the teeth are black, and they've clearly not even been used to make a single cut. It looks like the exact same eviscerator you saw in Wilson's shop a few days ago. Sean looks you up and down for a moment, Deracles, and says, "Are you quite sure you can handle this, young man?"
My faith in the Emperor grants me strength beyond the ken of a mortal man.
Indeed. Lord Strove steps forward and says, "You will never be allowed into Lady Borella's party with that. You do realise, don't you?"
I do.
Oh, fair enough. So, it's a standard eviscerator. It's D10 plus 10 damage, pen 5, tearing, unwieldy, special. And we'll worry about that when we get to it. It's worth just under 2,000 thrones and it weighs 12 kilograms. Who
That's
wanted...
the style.
Oh, sorry.
Don't
Who,
worry.
says Sean, wanted the Carnodon?
That was me.
Well, my
good sir.
apologies, but it seems the Westingcrupp Fane of gunmetal isn't currently exporting any of its stock at the moment. Something to do with some sort of turf war between the gangs and Fanes, or Fanes and Fanes, or Fanes and gangs. Oh, I don't know. Regardless, I was unable to acquire a Westingcrupp Carnodon of any colour, never mind a gold one, but I have brought an alternative. And he holds forth a plasteel box that he hands to you. And on the front is a stylized Aquila that seems to be the standard Aquila merged with another symbol. And anyone that wants to can make a common law test to figure out what this symbol is. If they have common law war, underworld, Imperium, Imperial Guard, or Adeptus Arbites.
I know.
You know.
Reason. Uneducated savage recognises this.
It actually does make sense for you to know. You could have probably rolled on Underworld as well.
Did you say, Dave?
Common Law, War, Underworld, Imperium, Imperial Guard, or Adeptus Arbites. And Dick, you would have got a +10 for it anyway, so you would have passed by 2 degrees. Mira will also get a +10.
D1.
Yeah.
Sorry. It always is, isn't it, in this game?
So you'll be rolling against 62, Leanne. So Leanne knows what it is as well. Anyone else wanting to have a see if they know what it is?
Yeah, if once my thing comes up, I just have to refresh it.
Of mystery.
Common Law
Oh,
Imperial,
not-
is it? Can I use Common Law Imperial?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll go for that.
No.
Not a clue.
So, both Dick and Leanne, I'm going to send you a little message. You know what this is.
What, on Facebook?
Yeah. And Leanne, don't worry about what that is. You probably won't know, but I will explain to you at some point. There you go, Dick.
It's from the Adeptus Arbeits man.
Okay, so Dick's blurted it out anyway, Leanne. The Adeptus Arbeits, they're basically space cops, a bit like Judge Dredd type characters.
All right.
And that's what the logo on the box is for. And he
This
goes
is-
on. Sean says, this found its way from an evidence locker in the cold vaults of Arbeits Precinct 22 Beta and into my hands. I'm sure you'd rather ask very few questions about that. This is what is known as a Judge Slayer, not a weapon of mass production. Each one is unique, specially made to the requirement of whoever commissioned it. In this
I
case,
know.
a former gang lord from down in the mid-hive.
I know exactly what this does.
Yep.
I read it the other day.
I thought you
in
would have
the
done.
Book.
I checked the history before its acquisition. Seems it has quite a story attached to it, allegedly built by someone known as Magos Gallio, based on Ambulon many years ago. It is a squat, bulky-looking hand cannon, and I do apologise. I've totally forgotten to do something. The reason I put you on roll 20.
Show us pictures of all the weapons.
Yeah, this is Ramsey's Fatebringer. This is what the Fatebringer. Oh, let's start that again. This is what the Fatebringer usually looks like. The one he's got is a stripped down, sexier version. But that's Ramsey's pistol that he's got.
Cool.
I can tell you the stats of mine. I've got it.
You might
I've
not.
got it on here.
You might not have.
Nice.
This
I
is.
might not have.
No, I might have changed it a bit. I'll tell you in a sec. That's Johnny's
Okay.
eviscerator for you. This is
Coming in on
this is what Hayden normally uses. This is a Carnodon, but this is what he's just got. Just a second, my fucking roll 20's being gay. Gay. This is what he's just been given. This is the Judge Slayer.
Wow. That's a beast.
Okay, and they're basically kind of like
What is it?
weapons
What
made
kind of
as one-off things
type of weapon?
for criminals, basically. Okay,
Is it this little line down here? No.
so in the top right corner of that
Yeah, it
screen,
does
you'll
appear
see the left-hand pistol. The revolver is what Ramsey has. The other two, the one on the left is your Carnodon, the one on the right is the Judge Slayer. What this does, I don't know if it's the same as in the book, because I did fuck about a bit. It classes as a hand cannon. It's finished in gold, as requested. It has a dark, well-oiled grip of wood, and a tiny array of blue gemstones run along each side of the barrel, arranged to form the letter W. It has a 20-meter range. It's only 1d10 plus 3 strength, but it is pen 7.
Fucking hell.
You've upgraded that then.
Yeah, I've tweaked it a little bit. It's clips 4. It takes 2 rounds to reload, so it's slow. But it's best quality. It never jams. It's plus 5 ballistic skill. It has a built-in red dot, and it's also unstable. When you roll a hit with this pistol, before you roll damage, you roll a d10. On the roll of a 1, the damage you roll is halved. On the roll of a 10, the damage you roll is doubled. And then you work out the damage. Okay?
Wow.
This is right. Well, what's the man's name who I'm just about to?
Sean Wilson.
Mr. Wilson. This is far beyond anything I thought. This is better than a hand cannon. So thank you very much from all of my heart.
You're most
Give him a
welcome.
bow.
I'm relieved to have it off my hands, to tell the truth. And finally, the reason I spent most of last night working in the shop rather than sleeping like a normal person, the custom items Laurent requested, which at the same time seemed a rather odd request at such short notice, but now, and he glances at Vlad and Mira and says, it makes much more sense. He produces a large box about 1 meter long, and it bears the logo of Wilson's wonderful weapons on the lid, which he opens and presents to both Vlad and Mira simultaneously. And he says, congratulations, Mr. and Mrs. Rains, I suppose.
Thank you.
Inside the box are a pair of matching pistols. Identical in every way, save for the colour of their finish. Monarch pattern bolt pistols, Sean announces. They look less bulky than the Ceres pattern versions you both wield. They're narrower, and while a bolt pistol can never be described as an elegant weapon, these two are about as elegant as a bolt pistol could be. Both had grips made from rich mixtures of dark wood, with strategically placed composite components to enable a firmer grip. In the base of the grips are smooth oval-shaped gems, blood red with black veins running through them. They look more like a revolver than a bolt pistol, although there's no mistaking the barrel is designed to take the much larger caliber bolt rounds. The iron sights of the barrel are designed as the Aquila with the wings swept back, parallel to the barrel. And the only difference between the two is the casing. One, which is obviously Vladimir's, is a matte black colour with golden filigree worked into it. The second is, it looks like a kind of marble finish. It's like a purple, multi-shaded marble effect, like with veins running through it. And it also has silver scrollwork all over. And as you gaze on this pair of matched pistols, you realise something. The scrollwork is not random. It's actually an incredibly well-worked set of letters written in Kurthic High Gothic. The letters V for Vladimir and M for Mira, followed by the surname Rains, and scrolled onto each pistol. Also, a family crest takes up much of the rest of the casing. And Sean says, the Rains family crest, as I'm sure you're aware. From Fenksworld, it took a great deal of the night to research its heraldry and apply it to the weapons for an emergency present for my good friend Lord Strophes, but I see now that was a deception. But still, enjoy your gifts.
Thank you.
And
That's fantastic. Oh.
So this is what your normal bolt pistol looks like. That's the standard Ceres pattern bolt pistol, which everyone except Leanne's probably very familiar with. The new ones you both have look a bit more like that.
Oh,
Nice. Fancy.
that is fancy.
Fancy.
Ooh.
Okay, so what these are in game terms is basically the Spitfire bolt pistol, the same sort of thing as what Canny had, which is like a crude homemade bolt pistol. But because it's a fancy, expensive one, I've tweaked it. They're lighter than a standard bolt pistol, obviously easier to wield and carry and look less like a bolt pistol. They only have a 3-shot clip. They're 20-meter range. They're only 1d10 plus 4 damage. They should be less, but this one is 4. They're pen 5. They have a clip of 3. Take a full turn to reload. They have tearing, like a bolt pistol does. A built-in red dot. And they are best quality, so they never jam. And they have extra damage and penetration, otherwise they would have been a bit shit. So you both have one of these, fancier version of a bolt pistol, basically, like a dress bolt pistol.
Cool.
And then Sean says, I know there was also a request for armour, however, as mentioned before, that is not my area of expertise, and a full suit of carapace armour is not something easily stumbled across, and he glances at Dericles. Nor is it particularly incognito. However, I must take my leave soon. I should catch up on my sleep. Enjoy your party. And he turns and leaves. Lauren.
Many thanks, Sean.
He just gives a casual wave as he walks off.
Blessings of the Emperor be upon you. Now I'm just going.
Laurent says, Lawrence says, "Ah! It's nice to see old friends every now and then," shouting over the revving of the eviscerator. "Such a shame what happened to him. Poor chap. Anyway, there's one more thing. Lansworth," and the servant enters again. "Bring the device that arrived earlier, would you? Good chap." The servant turns and leaves. Lord Lawrence Strauss turns to you, Ishmael, and says, "Ishmael, I've been in touch with an old acquaintance of mine from back in the glory days, an old engine seer from the Executor. He owes me a favour or two. I asked if he had a power axe or something I could borrow for a few days, and strangely, he sent me this. Said you could have it, oddly enough. I didn't even tell him who it was for." The servant walks back in, carrying what appears to be a tall metal staff. Its head topped with the skull and cog symbol of the Mechanicum. The servant holds the staff out for Laurent, who takes it, and then the former master, the servant leaves. "Engine seer Molos made this decades ago. It was part of a series of tests set to him by his former master, the Magos in charge of engineering on the Executor. Here, take it. Molos said you should be able to interface with it directly."
Very much.
You taking it?
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay, so this is basically a metal staff, a tall metal staff about 2 meters long, topped with that.
Okay.
You take the staff and immediately sense a connection with the machine spirit within it. And you realize that this is no mere staff. An idea springs into your head as though a command has been fed to you from the staff. And with a thought, a series of interconnecting veins dart out from the cog on top of the shaft and weave together to form a pair of solid, razor-sharp blades either side of the head of the staff. A second idea suddenly forms in your mind and you trigger it. Arcs of blue lightning play out across the blades and you can feel the potency of the power field. And as you do, you feel a message begin to enter your head from the machine spirit of this blade. It enters your data core and bonds with you, leaving in its wake a third option, which you activate. The shaft of the weapon rapidly decreases in height to about 1 meter long. "Rather fancy, isn't it?" says Laurent. This is a primitive form of an omniscient axe. It's not quite as powerful as the full thing, but it's still a very good weapon, and it has some added utility. It acts as a badge of office for the Mechanicum, also acts as a multi-tool, and it can be switched between modes for half an action. Its modes are mono staff, mono axe, and power axe. For another half action, it can be switched between 1 or 2-handed variants. Its cost is... who can put a price on such an item? In game terms, its stats are, as a mono axe, it's 1d10 plus 2, pen 3, unbalanced. As a 2-handed mono axe, it's 2d10 plus 2, pen 4, unwieldy. Or you can engage the power mode, which adds plus 2 damage and plus 2 pen, and also gives you the power field quality. However, it only has 10 charges, and a successful hit uses a charge, whether you do damage or not. It takes 6 hours to fully recharge on the mains, and you can use 8 hours to recharge it for 2 charges from your Potentia coil. So, it's basically, what weapon do you want to use today, Ed? It gives you the option of having a hand free and still being able to fight. So, you
Use
feel...
my, super hand.
Yeah, your big robot hand. And you feel deep within the machine spirit's core, this message begins to come to an end of unspooling into your mind. And you recognize immediately this message, whatever it is encrypted in such a way that only someone familiar with machine cant, the language of machines, could read it.
Well, I'm not looking forward to explaining this bill to Varrock. I don't know about you guys.
Bill.
No.
I'll say they made me do it.
You've spent about 10 grand on weapons so far.
How much does mine cost?
Yours was about £1,000. Okay,
Cheap option here.
so we've got a few hours of dancing. Is everyone who's doing dancing? Is everyone doing dancing?
I'm gonna dance.
I'll give it a whirl.
Yes.
Is Ishmael doing
I'm ready to
dancing?
roll if you're ready.
I don't think I'll be dancing.
You can row by it.
I can do that anyway.
No.
What do you want to do for the last 2 hours if you're not dancing, Ed?
I'm going to carry on thinking about thing.
Thinking about thing.
Daydreaming. Oh, thing.
Ah, sweet
I miss
thing.
you.
Get ready for the plans. Oh, and
Okay,
how many things
so I'll give you another. I'll give you another couple of hours of that then. We'll worry about that another time. Okay. So, Vladimir, I need 2 agility rolls from you, please, with a +10. Okay.
Strong.
Okay.
Moves.
And I'd also like to bollocks, I've written that in the wrong place. I'd also like 2 intelligence tests from you as well, please, Vlad. And then Mira, the same from you, 2 agility and 2 intelligence. Both with +10.
Put it like that.
Yeah.
2 agility.
2 agility, 2 intelligence, yeah.
Okay.
I failed to dance, but I remember how to do it.
Yeah, that's basically what's happening right now. Leanne's the other way. Leanne's like absolutely nailed remembering the dance, but she can't do it. Ramsey, same from you, please.
Right. Agility.
That's 3.
Intelligence.
Okay. Oh, that's fucking good form from Dick. So what did Dick get in total? So that's 6, 11.
I rolled 3 agilities, which wasn't right. But my first 2 original ones were good dancing.
Yeah.
My intelligent roll wasn't that great.
Yeah, so you're really good at the dancing, but you don't remember how to do it. You do get a +10 to all this, actually, so that's a bit better than what you think.
Oh, well, I've passed one of my intelligence tests then.
Yeah.
Yay!
Dericles, give me your dancing rolls, please. 2 agility, 2 intelligence.
Let's do this. Probably really bad. Oh.
And then we're off to a party.
Oh.
Off to a party.
Fantastic. And then intelligence as well, yeah.
Yeah, 2. I need another agility roll off you as well, please.
Okay.
Oh, I've got. Sorry, it was a bit late coming through. It's all right. So that's 4.
Yay! I may not be able to speak to people, but I sure can dance. I know how to shake it in the Emperor's name.
Okay, right. Around 4 p.m. Just as you're getting into the dancing, Laurent appears in the ballroom and says, "Right, I'm off. Oh, one more thing. I spoke with your master a little while ago, apprised him of the plan. He said he's off to give someone a nudge in the right direction or something. He'll be back in a few weeks. He's also asked me to remind you that You are there to investigate the Joyous Choir, find out what they are up to, and locate the source of the harmony meters. And to only act if absolutely necessary. Oh, and what was it he said? Don't go, what was his words? Don't go running around accusing or killing the nobility without plenty of evidence. Probably good advice. Right, see you later. And off he goes.
Hi.
Why is the cat just sitting and meowing at me? Well, at the end of your dance lessons, says Julia, I believe that's about all we have time for. We should prepare for the party. Your attire has been delivered to your rooms. Shall we meet in the entrance foyer in, an hour or so?
That sounds
Yes.
perfect.
As you wish, mate.
Sounds good. Yes. Thank you,
Okay,
my lady.
right. So, I'm going to move you on to another map. Right. I'm going to fucking piss about with another map is what I'm going to do, apparently. This wasn't originally going to happen, but I got bored one day. So I did this. You return to your rooms and find the outfits that have been left for you. Vladimir. Yours is a simple white shirt with frilled cuffs, collar and a cravat, a waistcoat of golden thread that seems to catch the light as you move it, and a simple pair of black trousers with golden embroidery down the seams. The outfit is completed with elegant black shoes with golden buckles featuring filigree, which you realise matches the cuffs and collar of your full-length, soft grey coat, made of a kind of wool-like fabric. Studded across the coat and the waistcoat are dozens and dozens of tiny lights which flow around the rear of the coat, and you realise as you strike them up that they form a map of the Calexis sector. Fenk's world, you realise, is marked by a pulsing blue gem over the exact centre of your waistcoat. A small box sits on the dresser, and you open it and find a high-quality falconry hood, fashioned from soft brown leather, with lights stitched into the hood in the shape of an aquila.
How's it?
Jolly good.
You dress. You look a little like this.
That's what Vlad looks like.
It is right now, but he's got his mask on. Vlad,
Hello.
there's a knock at the door.
Okay. I'll go to the door.
Julia stands there, her hair and makeup done, but she isn't quite dressed, wrapped in a simple robe of soft fabric. She holds in her hand a small black case. And she says, "Well, don't you look dashing?"
Why, thank you, my dear.
She says, she looks at you for a moment and says, "I was wondering, Vladimir." And she reaches up. She doesn't quite touch the mask, but she very nearly does. And then she goes, "The mask, Vladimir, is it necessary?"
No. This is quite the fashion on Gunnis 4. I think this will take off all across the sector.
She says, "Well, I'm not telling you what you can and can't do. You're in charge here, but if it's something you're hiding, Vladimir, perhaps I can help." And she opens the small black case and shows you the contents. And it's a wide variety of cosmetic materials, makeup, brushes, and strange tools. She said, "The mask may draw some attention."
I think some attention would not go amiss. We don't want to be too much into the background. But no, I simply couldn't take off the mask. It is a part of me, you understand.
She smiles, closes the case, and says, "Very well. If you change your mind, you know where to find me.
Yes.
See you soon."
You are too kind.
She toodles off. Ramsey,
You.
laid out on your bed in your room is a rather small suit. But it looks very well made. And you dress, And as you do, you realise the fabric, while starched, is incredibly soft. But under the surface, you can feel a firm rigidity to the trousers and jacket. A fine pair of shoes completes the outfit, and you notice as you put them on that the soles are soft, cushioned almost, and make very little noise as you move about your room. You admire yourself in the mirror. It feels a little awkward and unfamiliar to be dressed like this after years spent wearing the same flak armour, occasionally replacing damaged panels from the fallen, but needs must. You bend down to tie the shoes, and you feel something press into your ribs from inside the jacket. You peer inside and see what appears to be a small case made from an odd, matte black material. It's like nothing you've ever seen before. You realise the compartment has a hinged top, and you open it, and realise inside is a space, perfect in size, for your new Fatebringer.
Delightful.
Dericles. As requested, you have no attire. But you do find in your room an item which can only be described as a shawl made of lights strung together on thin, almost invisible wires. Would you like to put it on?
Yeah.
You put it on, and the lights, as you strike them up, pulse twice across your chest in the shape of the Imperial Aquila in a brilliant white. Boom, boom. The two-headed eagle spreads across your chest. Boom, boom, and then out. And as the lights blink out a third time, a word is spelt out across your abdomen in rapidly flickering deep red lights. Repent! It displays. And the process repeats again. Aquila.
Oh yeah.
Repent!
Now I'm ready for the party.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to show you Ramsey's.
I love it.
What Ramsey looks like roughly. I do apologise. There we go.
I haven't got him yet.
Bottom left of the screen, Hayden. You might have to move the map.
Oh, okay. Yes.
So basically, Dericles looks like he always does, which is a bit like that. But he's got lights. Dick.
Yeah.
In your room, you find an outfit.
Perfect.
And oh, what an outfit it is. There is no shirt. There is simply what appears to be a waistcoat and a pair of trousers. But on inspection, you realise it's not a waistcoat. It's more like a suit jacket that has had the sleeves removed. The fabric is metallic, a shimmering golden colour covered in sequins and hundreds of tiny lights. The lapels on the jacket are leopard print, and a motif that features... You're going to what, sorry?
I have to take one of my pills for this modern clothing. You know, one of my stimulation pills. I'm just going to take one without seeing this clothing. It's like, oh my
Time
god.
to pop a Valium.
Take one.
What's one coming to?
Make a toughness test.
Calm myself down. Yeah. Okay. Give me a second. Let me find my toughness. Say press. Submit.
Okay.
5 degrees failure.
You feel chilled out. You can do this. It's fine. It's fine. And besides, this outfit, it's kind of exciting you. There, along with the jacket and trousers, there is a pair of shoes that have a similar leopard print motif on sort of sheaths across the toes. And a soft purple fedora with, yet again, a leopard print band round it. With a bright green feather tucked into one side.
Have you made me into a Marvel character?
No, I've basically given you that to wear, but there's no sleeves on the jacket.
You picked me up.
Once you get dressed, you realise there's also on the bed a shirt collar No shirt, just a collar with a gold bow tie attached to it. And it fastens around your neck. And it's not attached to anything. But you see on the bow tie dozens of tiny lights in this too, and it feels heavy. You can feel the distinct bulk of something metallic secreted within the tie. Also on the bed, where the tie was, are 2 white shirt cuffs. No shirt, just cuffs and a collar with a suit jacket with no sleeves. And you put these on, they appear to be fitted with diamond cufflinks. And as you fasten the cufflinks, you feel again something metallic woven into the cuffs. You look in the mirror. A gold sleeveless jacket with leopard print lapels, gold trousers, white diamond-studded cuffs, a white collar, a gold bow tie, and a purple pimp hat. Fuck yes! You are dressed to impress. You have no idea what these hive nobles go for in a well-dressed man, but fuck me, you are bound to get some action tonight.
But, okay, yes, but personally, I'm feeling a bit nervous about this.
You feel the cuffs as you adjust them slightly on your wrists. The diamond cufflinks, are they buttons?
Maybe I'll have to do a really shitty tech use test, won't I?
It's just a button. It's just a button. The diamond cufflink is just a button.
Tech use test, press it. It seems I'm fake.
No, you can just press it.
All right, I'll press it. I'll press that button.
You press the diamond cufflink and the suit bursts into life. The lights pulse and flash rapidly and assault your senses with a myriad of different colours and shades and patterns. There seems to be a pattern to it, but you can't quite figure out what it is. But it definitely has something like a pulse or a rhythm to it. The bow tie rocks back and forth under your chin and occasionally spins all the way round, then rocks again and spins back the other way. And it repeats this over and over again as the feather in your hat rocks rhythmically back and forth.
Dick's going to take this collar and cuffs off and put a normal shirt on.
There is another button. There is another button on the other cuff.
Okay. All right, I'll press the other button.
You press the second cufflink and booming, thudding, pounding, bass-heavy techno music blares out from the speakers hidden in the tie and the cuffs. You realise the lights flash, the bow tie spins and the feather waves in time to the music.
Man, I'm flipping out in technophobia. You know, I've been off on a back world of planet. I've just been like psychedelic spinning clovey stuff. My brain can't take it. I'm just going to take it all off and have a moment to think, breathe, sweat it out. It's a bad place for Dick, this.
Oh no.
He's having a bit of a meltdown about this light up clothing. So just leave him for a minute. Come back to him. He might have recovered by the next
Okay.
time.
Ishmael, you denied all clothing, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was nothing in your room for you. However, Mira.
Yep.
The dress you find laid out for you is predominantly white and made from an iridescent fabric that seems to shift constantly as light plays across it. A black chest panel displays the symbol of House Reigns in gold thread, and a matching belt which hangs down low between your ankles, with designs on showing the family house, the house seal of House Strophs, and also the Aquila. The skirts are semi-translucent, and there's an underlayer beneath them that is blood red, but it's invisible when the dress is down. There are lights stitched into the entire outfit, and they pulse and swirl in time with your movements. They cause the red lining to flicker through the transparent skirt as the lights pass over them. The shoulders of your dress are pumped up. Just give you the picture, actually. And I'll put Ishmael on there anyway, even though he's not wearing it, because he looks a bit like that. It's not showing you Ishmael, is it? Never mind. Let's try again. There we go.
Oh, poor dog.
The shoulders of the dress are puffed up and over the top, and you see lights running down from the shoulders across your upper arms, running like lines of lights vertically connecting with sort of cuff guards like what she's got there. And you realise that as these lights light up, they seem to draw attention away a bit from your biceps, which are formidable. The wrist cuffs as well manage to perfectly hide your augmetic for your... it wouldn't hide your medical gauntlet, but it hides the augmetic interface for it.
Yeah.
And it seems Mr. Ferrier has thought of everything. You hear a knock at the door.
Hello. Open the door.
It's Julia. She says, "Pardon my intrusion, Mira. I found this, and I wondered if you'd like to wear it." She hands you a small, tasteful tiara. You see the arrangement of lights between the shining gemstones, lights already attached to match her outfit. You can't help but wonder at the value of such an exquisite piece of jewellery. Would you please make an awareness test at +10?
Bloody cat on me. Fucking kitty hammock here. Sorry, Chisholm. Right.
Awareness at +10.
Intelligence.
I'll be
Scroll
right
up. It's at the top there, look. On the left, where it says awareness. Click roll. And then go onto the main game window. Put 10 in there.
Wee man.
Okay. Would you like to wear the tiara?
What's it show me?
Nothing.
Did it roll shit? I can't see. 'Cause of lights.
Yeah. You rolled 62.
Hey. Okay.
Okay. You put on the tiara, and it does finish the outfit off. You glance at yourself in the mirror, and while you're not exactly used to wearing such clothes, you can't help but smile as you take in your reflection. The iridescent white fabric complements your skin tone perfectly, and the effect is further enhanced when Julia switches off the room's lights, and the sparkling, spiraling nebulae pattern of the dress comes to life. And the lights in the tiara twinkle with the symbol of House Strophs and the Imperial Aquila. "Oh my," she says, "you're a vision, Mira. Give me a twirl. The dress reacts to movement."
Yeah, do a 12 for her.
The dress flickers to life. The lights all strike up as you spin, but some seem to glow brighter. And you see a path weaving between the lights of the dress, around the constellations and clusters of what you realise is a map of the entire Calexis sector. Looks like sort of this. That's the pattern that's across the entire dress. It's the same on Vlad's suit as well.
Cool.
But this path weaves. You see this light being tracked on a line of lights through the clusters. Make a common law test for Imperial Creed, Imperium, or Ecclesiarchy, whichever you want.
Can't do anything.
You've definitely got... You
Have
might
I?
even have all of them. I don't know.
So,
You've definitely got one of them, but I don't know if it's base skill or if you've got a +10 or anything. Common law, Imperium, Imperial Creed, or Ecclesiarchy.
yeah. So, I do that.
Uh-huh. Just submit. Don't add anything to it. The path that the stars seems to be showing you looks vaguely familiar to you, but you can't place it. And you smile. Julia is right. A trained warrior and healer you may be, but at the heart of it, you are still, after all, a woman. And doesn't every woman have the right, the desire, to sometimes look like a woman, rather than someone born and raised to fight in the name of the Emperor? Julia stands behind you. Sorry.
I think I've decided not to wear the crown.
Okay.
I just made a choice.
So you take it off.
I think so, yeah.
Julia says, "Is there something wrong, Mira?"
Oh, I'm just trying it with or and without the crown and seeing which one looks best for the party. If that's okay. My lady.
Very well, sister. And she just turns and glides out of the room.
Okay.
Okay. I'm just going to go grab a beer, have a wee, and then we'll continue.
I'm doing that, yeah. Shit. Why?
Cute cat egg.
Oh, she's moving anyway. Oh, that's best.
Oh, is it a boy?
Yeah. Big
Oh, it's got a big
bean.
nose. Boys have bigger noses than girls' cats. It's the only way I tell is by looking at the nose.
I think there's probably one more way to tell.
Yeah, girl cats have a shallower nose bit. Boys are a bit more out. It's true fact, man. I can tell a cat's sex by looking at its nose, which is quite fun. It's silly, but it's always right when I guess it. So it must be true.
Common law pets.
Common law pets. That's it. I don't know. I'm not sure about wearing this like disco bow tie.
You have to now.
I think it's a wild outfit, man. I think it's.
I think I'm
It's
going to,
vintage to a
you know,
T.
the high society clothes I bought originally with Vlad. I think I'm going to mix my Han Solo outfit with the gold coat and pin one corner of the hat up so it's like a cowboy hat, you know, pinned up, and just change it about a bit because the lights, to be honest, making Dick feel a bit crazy.
Techno, it's too much.
What I was thinking is, once we do this party, if you keep the cuffs, I'll make them into power cuffs. Just go around punching people.
Oh, that'd be an amazing idea. If what? So you're saying if I do the party, you'll give me power cuffs?
I'll do it anyway. I'm sure I can look into making.
Oh, okay, that's good then. I don't
So
have to wear the
you can't punch people, you can like backhand people.
Oh yeah. Forearm smashes.
A power
Drop.
backhand.
Yeah, wrist death.
So, Dick, have you decided what you're doing with your clothing dilemma?
Dick's finished sweating over this, and it's just been thinking back to his days in a yurt on a desert-ridden planet where you have to go hunting for the bare minimum. And he's looking around in this grand posh environment where he's in a sort of like inbuilt box and just stacked upon other boxes. Looking in his room, and he's gone on of moments. So after he's just felt a bit stressed out from this, sorry, I had to go into this.
Yeah,
it's my character building. But you have to feel a bit like stressed about this. He's gone and taken the bow tie and cuffs off, and he's got his posh gear out from what he bought. So he's going to mix it up between his Han Solo gold jacket, and he's going to pin one corner of his pin pat up like that. So it's like a bit more cowboy or musketeerish. I'm also going to dress with my chain and whip, and sort of like put my mesh coat over everything as well. You know, mesh vest and mesh coat under it, and mixed it up.
Okay.
That's what Dick's doing because he's a bodyguard after all, and he's got to look a bit like a bodyguard.
Okay.
I know he's in the hive, but he's going to mix up his only his posh clothes he's using.
Yeah.
You know, the ones I bought.
So the mesh suit is kind of like, I see it as like kind of like an underlayer. Like a suit of chainmail that you would wear clothes over, sort of almost like concealed armor, but it's a bit bulky.
Well, I'm just going to have the mesh vest on, the chainmail sanctified gauntlets, because it's quite cool. It looks posh. It's got a story. Keep the fancy trousers, put my what boots am I wearing with this outfit?
There are just a pair of black boots with leopard print, sort of tongues.
Yeah, I'll keep them, man.
Yeah.
I'll keep them, but yeah, I'm going to put that all together. But I'm going to drop the spinning bow tie and cuffs because, to be honest, it's making Dick feel sick.
Okay.
Can't handle it. It's light. He's a savage man. It's a bit too much for him.
Don't
It's
dig
starting to
stick
make me
everywhere.
feel like he wants to run around in the wild again.
That's when it's bad.
Okay.
Mate, to be fair, just hearing about the wildness of that outfit was making me feel a little bit sort of like, you know, I still don't know how the nobles are going to react to me wearing a big thing saying "repent" on it. But I'm going to go with it.
Yours with your what? Sorry.
With the flashing red "repent" underneath the Aquila. I think that's going to be a showstopper.
Yeah, but you're used to giving up things in the name of the cloth.
But you're not. You're going dressed as a priest because you are a priest.
Yeah, that is true. This is true.
So,
and I will require, if anyone wants to repent, then I am there for them.
What you have to remember is that there's a lot of different variations of the imperial cult. You know, there's literally hundreds of little offshoots, and they all have different ideas, don't they? And you're a redemptionist, basically.
Yeah.
But these people are obviously something else. It's just basically, if you wear the lights, it basically says, I am a redemptionist. It doesn't say, I'm a member of the Inquisition. It doesn't say, I've got a fucking chainsaw. It just says, I sort of am a bit of a redemptionist.
Weapon-wise, Dave. Because this is a thing for me. I get to wear more weapons than anybody else because I'm bodyguard.
Mm-hmm.
So does that mean I can take my fancy pistol, a Carnadon, and my Kai Shog?
Yeah, basically, the lords and nobles are sort of expected to carry sidearms, and it is acceptable for entourage members to carry sidearms. The bodyguard license allows you to carry more than just a sidearm. So you could carry a shotgun or an auto gun, you know, a basic weapon, but nothing ridiculous like, you know, plasma guns, melter guns might be frowned upon, but most standard basic weapons.
Yeah, I'll just keep to my fancy Carnadon, my fancy new gun, and my Kai Shog then.
Okay.
Because that's going to turn a few heads.
I'll wear the scalp taker.
Can I ask for some gold spray?
Gold spray.
Go?
It's a bit late to be spray painting stuff. You're about to get into the Shetland game. It'll just still. I mean, you can do it, but the paint will still be wet when you get to the party.
It'll be all over my costume.
Before we go, can I draw a card from my tarot deck?
You can.
As a focus, and see what the night holds from us.
Yeah, you can.
Let us consult the Emperor.
So,
and ask for his blessing upon the night.
I would like you to roll. What do you roll?
Cheat, steal, occult.
Where's the fucking house rules gone?
I'll also wear my icon and my mantle shrine as well, because I think it's appropriate.
What have I done with that? Yeah.
I'm going to try and put the hood on Reg. Now, Reg, don't be fussy. Come on, now put it on. There's a good little crow.
Will you give me a an animal handling or wrangling thing?
Sorry. Like a wrangle.
Where is that?
He doesn't even have any eyes, does he?
No, he doesn't.
It makes the hood pointless.
What do you mean it's all pointless?
Well, okay, it's okay. The real point is stop birds seeing, but you're just doing it for aesthetics, so it's not pointless. You're right.
There's a good bird. There's a good. Easy now. Just be for the night. And don't you look splendid? Who's a splendid little bird?
Reg quite happily lets you put the hood on him. You can turn it on and off.
He shat on the dresser. Oh no.
I can't find my fucking rules for the cards.
It's alright, Dave. We can just pass over that. Get going.
I will find it for you.
It's no biggie.
Stick my red dot, my silencer, and my Oh, what's the reload on it actually, Dave? What's the reload time?
On the Fatebringer,
Yeah.
on the new one,
Yeah.
I think it might be quite slow. Let me just have a look.
Yeah.
Because it's a revolver, isn't it? Which are usually slow. It's whatever it is in its standard profile.
Cool. Can I use the? Cool. I've got a thing to half the reload time, haven't I?
Yeah, I'll keep looking, Alan, but at the minute I
Yeah, no
can't
bother.
find the.
It's no biggie, Dave. I'd like to also take a vial of sedative with me.
Okay. So I'll go around each of you. So Vlad, what are you taking besides your clothes?
Just obviously the special bolt pistol, my psi focus, my tarot cards, my mask, a vial of sedative, and that is it, I think.
Okay.
That is it. I'll leave the refract field back here, but I can summon it if needs be.
Okay, Ramsey, what are you taking with you?
My suit that I'm wearing, silencer, red dot, and half reload time upgrade for it.
Okay.
Filter plugs and the I think I've got the contacts.
The what? Sorry.
Contacts, photo contacts.
Oh yeah. Okay.
And the filter plugs, and the Dead Space ear thingamies.
All right. Ishmael.
And as many rounds as I can get away with.
Yep. Okay.
Whatever that is.
Yeah, I'll work that out. Ishmael.
Going to take my new toy.
Yeah.
I'll carry it like a normal staff for now.
Mhm.
Obviously, a Macau and thing.
Okay. Nothing else?
No, I'll leave the flamer. I think I'll need it.
It's not that kind of party.
Dick.
Right, well, you've basically heard what I'm dressing in.
Yeah.
The armour and everything. So I'm taking my Kayashog, that fancy pistol, and the Carnadon, because there's no point in not doing.
So the Judge Slayer and the Carnadon.
Yeah, taking my Thieves' Tools, and obviously my recoil gloves. Do I need my handbox?
Just take your comm beads.
Yeah, take my comm beads, and that'll be it. Obviously, on my pistol with its upgrades, both sides.
Yeah. What did you say that wasn't a weapon between Kayashog and Carnadon?
Give me a second.
I've got Judge Slayer, Carnadon, Kayashog, recoil gloves, combead.
Thieves' Tools.
Thieves' Tools, that was it. Sorry.
Yeah, so I can pick locks if I need to.
Dericles, what are you taking?
I'm going to take the Mantle Shrine, the Icon, and the Questing Pilgrim's badge. My leather mask underneath my hood, and the Scalp Take Stub Revolver. And that's it.
Okay. Mira, what are you taking?
That's the slipper dress.
Yeah, well, I assumed you were taking your dress, yeah.
My mask. My gun. Maybe a sedative.
A sedative. What did you say? Your mask, did you say?
Yeah, the gun.
What mask?
No, I got a mask.
It's not.
Right.
It's not a costume ball.
Right. Gun then. Sedative.
And a dose of sed.
That's it.
That's it. That's everyone. Is everyone ready to move to the party?
Don't worry about it.
Yes.
To the ball.
Yeah.
Julia Stroph's, as promised, meets you in the entranceway to Stroph's Manor. She takes a moment to inspect your attire, grinning at each of you in turn. One eyebrow cocks curiously as she looks over at Dick. And then she turns sharply away and then turns back, looks again at Dick, and then steps towards him and hands him a thin sliver of silver plasteel. Your bodyguard license, Mr. Pincher.
Thank you. What is the problem when you were looking at me?
I just didn't realise it was you for a moment, that's all.
Why? I'm finely dressed for a change.
You are indeed.
Just due to your guidance, thank you very much. But I have changed my appearance a little bit more to suit myself.
Make a fellowship test. You get -10 because you are a feral motherfucker in a uptown land.
Motherfucker in a cultured world.
Do, do, do.
I'm a feral motherfucker in a cultured world.
He's an alien. He's a legal alien.
I'm gonna re-roll that.
Okay.
I'm a feral motherfucker in
Yeah.
a cultured world.
I can make you use your fate points.
Oh, it's even worse.
I can make you use your fate. I
That's it.
can make you use your fate points. Oh, sorry. I forgot my mic was on. Well, it was worth a reroll, I think, to get Julia to like you more. And you get the impression she doesn't dislike you. You noticed when you first arrived she was a bit cold towards you. Not overtly hostile, just almost like she didn't know how to act around you. And you've seen her act the same way around Ramsay and Dericles. Ishmael she gives a very wide berth to in general. But she basically talks to Ramsay, to Vlad and Mira all the time. But with you, she's always been a bit standoffish. But the way she talks to you now, you feel she's maybe warming to you a little. Not in a follow me to my bedroom kind of way, but in a actually, maybe she's just not used to dealing with mid-hivers, which is what she thinks you are.
How wrong could you be?
You're even lower than that, man.
I'm even lower. I started life in a yurt.
Okay.
From the gutter hive.
No, from the plains of the desert via campus. I haven't even had hive civilization floating above me. Yeah.
You soon...
Probably a better lifestyle than in people in the hive. Sorry.
Sorry?
That's it.
You soon find yourselves soaring through the scintilla's sky with Ramsay at the helm of a shuttle, weaving in and out of the spires of Hive Sibyllus. And after about an hour, Ramsay sets the shuttle down on a grand landing pad where half a dozen similar vessels sit, ticking as they cool. And you disembark, and a well-dressed manservant steps forward and greets Lady Stroph's and beckons her to follow him. A gesture she repeats to you all, with an impish smile on her face. She links arms with her cousin and his wife, Vladimir and Mira, and begins strolling along between the pair of them. The rest of you follow in their wake as she moves indoors towards the sound of slowly growing music and conversation. The large open courtyard you find yourselves in rests high in the hive spire. The northern wall of the room is a single massive window that gives a massive view, a magnificent view of the setting sun and the restless sea that swirls about the granite cliffs below the western reaches of Hive Sibyllus. The room is dark, lit only by a few evenly spaced candles, and the luminant garments of each of the assembled nobles, following the fashion demands of aether weaving, as you've come to know it, is matched by the glowing beverage containers gripped in the hands of those in attendance, which too seem to have their own inner light. And you can see everyone in this room that you enter is drinking from these spun glass cups formed of intricate whorls, and this glow-in-the-dark punch within seems to have got some sort of trace of phosphorescence in it, causing each drink to resemble a candle that burns brightly in the night and then is quickly extinguished by the nobles as they drink these drinks. Julia Strophs has brought you here to mingle with some of the high society of Hive Sibyllus. Lady Borella, the sponsor of the party, is a renowned supporter of the Joyous Choir, making this the perfect occasion for you to be introduced to local nobility. From now on, none of you will have any penalties to dealing with people above your station. In other words, pretty much everyone here. However, there are some modifiers to that based on the lessons you've had. You will have a modified modifier while you're dealing with the nobility of this hive on this mission. And all of you have a slightly different one. It's about 8 p.m. A group of about half a dozen men and women stand around and sit and play on a small stage to the west of the room, playing various musical instruments and creating a soft, gently sonic backdrop to the darkened gathering. Low murmurs of conversation from various groups of nobles reach your ears as you enter the room, penetrating through the music, and you hear as you pass by the elite of Scintillan society discussing business transactions and trivial gossip as you pass by. Julia leads you around the room to the brightest figure standing out in the darkness. A matronly woman in her later years. Her dress is a constant shifting pattern of nebula and starfields, similar to Mira's. She laughs at a comment from one of her hangers-on as Julia approaches with you in tow. "My Lady Borella," Julia begins. "A pleasure to see you again, and a delight to be in your beautiful home once more. You have outdone yourself once more, I see." And she indicates Lady Borella's dress. "Ah, Julia, my dear, so lovely to have you here. And these must be your guests. Oh my, the distant world of Fanksweld. Pilgrims. Oh, well, I never. Julia told me you would be coming, and it's a genuine pleasure to have someone from such a distant world as Fanksweld in my home. Tell me, how are you finding Scintilla?"
My lady, first let me give you my most welcome thanks for the invitation to your most delightful party. And we are finding the we are finding Scintilla to be most delightful. It is beyond any of our expectations. May I introduce to you my wife, Mira.
"Ah, Lady Mira, good day. How do you find Scintilla?"
Oh, it's lovely to meet you. Yes, I'm finding Scintilla to be fantastic. It's wonderful.
Okay, I would like you both to give me a etiquette roll. So this is basically a fellowship roll modified by your new modifier. Vlad, you get a plus 35. Mira, you also get a plus 35.
Oh, God. Oh, what am I rolling now? Sorry.
It's a fellowship test, but you get plus 35 for all your lessons that you've had. That's it. Click that, and then go on to roll 20. $35. Okay. She said, "Oh my, what a charming couple! How lovely! And my dear Vladimir, you are most welcome. Of course, any friend or family of Julia's is a friend of mine too. Please, enjoy yourself. Make yourselves at home, won't you?"
Yes.
Indeed, my lady.
Thank you.
She says, have yourself a drink or two, mingle. I'm sure there are many here who'll be excited to see such distant travellers. I'll get back round to you a little later on, but I have so many more guests to greet for now. And she sweeps away towards the entrance, and you hear her as she goes, Ah, General Kalim, so wonderful to see you made it. I feared your duties would keep you from me. She moves on to the next arrival. Her entourage follows in a wake, and one of them greets Julia as he passes by. And he says, Good evening, Lady Strophes. Delight as always. And Julia blushes and says, oh, good evening, Mr. Danine. Perhaps I will have the pleasure of a dance later? And he says, Of course, my dear, with a warm
What's
smile.
his name?
Mr. Danine.
Danine.
Mhm.
I put Vanny.
Vanny Danny.
He says, Of course, my dear. Why else do you think I've come? And then he turns and walks after Lady Borella. Julia watches the man leave and bites her bottom lip a little and watches him wander after Lady Borella. She seems lost for a moment, and then she suddenly seems to remember you're there and says, let me see. And she
Like manga.
adjusts her hair unnecessarily for a moment and says, let me point out who's who. And you see her dab her brow. I'm going to give you a new map. This is the
Party map.
The party map. Where's the party map? Here's the fucking party map. This is the party map, bitches.
Okay.
Huh?
I'll get back onto the chat.
Click cancel on that. You don't need that up, do you? You should be able to click on the chat. What have you done?
General Kalim looks a bit like Ganon. My gosh, there's so many bodyguards in the room.
Pardon me.
Whee.
Okay, so this is the party map. So you're not in initiative order or anything. You see your characters all down the bottom wall. The bottom wall, there's basically 3 double doors out back into the house the way you've come. Each has got 2 guards armed, quite heavily armed. They've got some very high power looking las guns and heavy body armor. There is a door over to the left, which basically leads to the toilets. There's a band, which is the 4 guys on the far left. Everyone else in here, there's a few servants, but everyone else in here is a party guest or a party guest's entourage member. And if you zoom in, you'll be able to see they're sort of grouped together. So you've got things like Lady Borella and Borella guards, and you've got Lord Raphael Verence and Verence guards. So you see these people are in sort of small groups. Okay? Right.
Okay.
Let me see. Let's start with the most important, shall we? She gestures towards the stage where a regal-looking gentleman of advanced age stands with four guards? 6 guards. 4 guards, yeah. 4 guards who appear very heavily armoured and armed. Everyone make a common law Imperium test with a +10.
Should have made it like a common law, common sense test to put my flat.
Not a clue.
Okay, so as you're all making this, so Leanne's passed. No, Leanne hasn't rolled it yet.
What
Dick's
test
passed.
is that, Dave?
I'll pass, Dave.
Yeah. So, anyone else rolling?
No.
What test is that, Dave?
Common Law Imperium with +10.
So is that a normal?
I got 2.8 degrees of success then.
It's an intelligence test, but only if you've got Common Law Imperium.
I think I have.
Where's Ramsey?
Hmm?
So where's Ramsey on the map?
Yeah, where am I?
Are you not there? Oh, you are. You're there. You slid off it for some reason. Hang on.
I
There you
like to think I'm fucking ninja, Dave. No.
Ah, that's Ramsey. I didn't recognise him because he's bigger than I am.
Yeah, he's a beast. He's a beast of a halfling. Okay, so who passed? Just Dick and Leanne. You recognise this man's attire, not necessarily the man. It's the attire of people you'll have seen giving propaganda broadcasts across the city over the last year or so that you've lived here, on big boards and on the Hollow network and various other things. You'll have seen them.
TV didn't go to waste. My TV night didn't go to waste.
And she continues to introduce this man and says, Lord Raphael Verence, a member of the sector Governor Hex's ruling council, no less. Not sure if he has anything to do with the Joyous Choir, though. The meek-looking woman at the back there, and she points towards this woman labelled Maylene Trun, who is right in the middle at the north edge of the map. He says, I don't know who she is. She looks a little out of place to me, and the little bookish fellow she's talking to. No idea about him either. Doesn't look noble-born. Anyone who would like to make an awareness test at +10. It's sight-based. Some big fails going on here, guys. Wow. That was good.
One, isn't it? Shadow Seed.
This.
What are all these for, Dave?
Sorry?
Awareness. What's the awareness for?
Well, I can't tell you that unless you pass.
No Jedi mind trick on you, Dave.
Have you made yours, Ramsey?
No.
Okay. I can't believe none of you passed that. But anyway.
Join the fail.
Is there any?
Someone tell me what's going on.
Oh, it was a +10 actually. It was a +10, so you would have passed.
Okay. What about special senses?
It was sight-based,
Cool.
so you would have got another
Yeah.
+10.
Yeah,
Okay.
1 degree of success. Come on.
You notice that this woman, although obviously out of place here, her outfit is a decent quality dress, and it would perhaps be classed as finest clothes if you lived in the mid-hive. The woman has attempted to compensate for this.
Melanie Tron is this.
Maylene Trun, yeah. The woman has attempted to compensate for this, obviously dressing down, by draping a shawl covered in glow lights around her shoulders. It's not like as fancy as the other noble ones that pulse and flash. It's literally just like a net of lights she's wearing. Everyone make another awareness test.
Just a straight awareness test.
Yeah. Oh no. Mira and Ishmael get a +20.
Terrible roll for me.
None of you are seeing shit.
What about me?
No. Too small.
Well, people rely on
Jesus Christ.
Not one of you has seen anything.
me.
Our
Amazing.
eyes are too small.
Your eyes are too
+20, I'm
small.
still-
Okay.
95, then an 88. I'm getting better.
I've got a pud over my eyes.
I'm getting better.
She
That's
Julia
that's the
points.
instant.
Julia points at someone else. Julia points at this woman here, the one I've circled in pink, and says, "That woman there, the muscular one, Lady Wendy Cleves, not noble-born, married into the Cleves family as a reward for some service to her house, apparently. Note the handmaidens." And you see the 3 women with her. Although dressed in simple clothing of handmaidens, these
They've
3
all
are
had their hand-
alert
Yeah, yeah.
and are very muscular women.
It looks like they've just got little stub arms.
Yeah. Everyone make an awareness test. Mira and Ramsey get a plus 20.
Jesus, why did it take so long?
I made a roll.
Jesus, minus 5.5 degrees. There you go. Get 90.
Right.
Make it faster.
Vladimir, Mira, and Ramsey.
I think I might be blind.
You can tell from these women's build and stances that these are military women. You can tell from the way they constantly look around the room assessing for threats. And you can also tell that each one of them has got something concealed beneath their dresses.
Okay.
The chap she's talking with, Julia goes on, is General Eustace Killeen, senior officer in the Scintillan Protectorate. An unusual addition to the evening, that's for sure. The Scintillan Protectorate are basically the PDF, the Planetary Defence Force. Okay?
Mhm.
From this man's... Sorry?
No, yeah, I just agreed, Dave. Yeah.
Oh, right, okay. From this man's posture, it's obvious that he is from a military background. He stands bolt upright, almost at attention as he talks to Wendy Cleves. And you notice he's pretty much the only other person in the room you've noticed who is armed with more than a simple pistol. With the exception of bodyguards and guards, all the other nobles are just a single pistol as is requested. But this gentleman, on one hip, has an archaic-looking plasma pistol, and on the other, an ornate-looking sword with a bulky-looking power source built into the hilt. Julia points over to here, this gentleman. The priest, talking to Lady Borella, Father Francis Lunadria, not of the Joyous Choir as far as I know. He's a member of an entirely different sect, I believe. Often turns up to parties, though. Quite a jovial fellow for a priest. Any of you that have common law ecclesiarchy, make a +10 common law ecclesiarchy test. I think that's Mira and Dericles.
It's not on my thing. So
Right. Be surprised if you didn't have that one, mate.
Yeah, you should have.
Yeah.
You're a cleric. Hang on. I'll put it on for you.
okay.
It should be common law.
Plus, what is it?
Common law, ecclesiarchy.
+10.
So can I just use the common law imperial? And then
Yeah, it's the same anyway. I'm just adding it to your
Yeah.
sheet for you, so because you definitely have it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I actually passed the roll. Fantastic.
Oh, both of you do.
Dave, how
Cool.
do I change this from? It's saying it's going to GM. Does everybody else see my rolls when I'm making them? Or...
Yeah, right down the bottom below the chat bar where you type, does it say as?
Yes.
You should be able to change that there.
I've
I
changed
think.
it. Yeah, I've changed it.
Okay.
Derek is in there. Yeah.
Okay. Where were we? We've just done that. So you both recognise the symbols on his staff and robes. These are slight variations on a very common version of the imperial cult. But this brother belongs to a sect called the Brotherhood of the Blessed. And it's a sect that believe the Emperor is a benevolent soul, but he only rewards those who undergo the most hardship in life. Julia continues, the dark-skinned lady, the one with the tattoo on her hand. And she, well, hang on, I've just moved the wrong fucker. She points at this woman over here, to the right. Says, Lady Anastasia Redstream. Saw her at one of the joyous choir meetings I attended. A sad woman. Lost her husband quite recently, I understand. And the man she's talking to, surrounded by guards. The one with all the piercings in his ear. Lord William Boulderdown. I'm afraid I know very little about him. He's an off-worlder. Been on Scintilla a few months, I think. Everyone make a awareness test, please. Ka! You guys are not aware tonight, are you?
I think I might be blind.
Starstruck, Dave, that's what it is.
Ramsey notices this. It's quite fitting that Ramsey would notice as well. The guards that surround this Lord Boulderdown, Lord William Boulderdown, none of them appear to be armed. None of them have got obvious weapons. They're quite clearly guards. They're all, dressed a bit like you are, a bit suited and booted kind of thing, and they're all big guys, but you can't see a weapon. But you do see one or two bulges here and there on their bodies and legs that don't look right. Doesn't look like a natural leg or a bit of chest. There's something under there.
They're like machine punching men.
This chap here, and she points to, where is he? This guy? He says, this chap here, pointing at a foppish man dressed in gaudy attire with a long curved blade at his hip. He stands watching a man doing card tricks, who is dressed in a long blue robe covered in moons and stars and has a tall, pointy hat on his head. And she says, Cedric de Bolbec or something, an explorer by all accounts, but I've only ever seen him exploring the bar or the cleavage of young ladies. Everyone make an awareness test, please.
I'm going to pass this. I smell a scammer.
Hey, bygone.
That's so close.
In your face.
Ed.
Yeah.
I'm so aware. It's remarkable.
Ed, you notice hanging from the hip of this Cedric de Bolbec, he has a rather unusual weapon. You can not only tell just by looking at it that it's unusual, but your enhanced cybernetic senses kind of pick up an unusual energy reading coming from the blade at his hip, something you've never encountered before.
Demon blade.
The chap in the robes at the back there, Julia goes on. Where's the little marker? There it is, you fucking little dirty bastard. Over there. Says, oh no, sorry. She first indicates this man here. It says, the chap in the robes there. Not sure who he is, but I've seen robes like his before. He's Joyous Choir, all right. And the sturdy-looking gentleman chatting with him. Lord Sorkat Outhwaite has extensive holdings in Gunmetal City. Strofe Shipping has contracts with him. Supplies the guard, mostly, all over the sector, las guns and the like. can I have an awareness test for everyone, please?
Do I get any bonuses for being in Gunmetal City?
You do actually get a +20.
Got this.
What am I rolling, Dave?
Real in, an awareness test, please.
Yay! I would have passed, but +20 was good.
Say.
99, a new record.
75. 95.
Okay. Has everyone rolled?
Dave got asked.
I'm not seeing Dericles for some reason. Oh, it's there.
Yeah.
Right, so Derek, Dick, and Ramsey. You recognise nothing about the gentleman, the first gentleman she pointed out, the one in the row, but the second guy, Sorka Outhwaite. When you look at him, it takes you a moment. You think it looks familiar, and then you realise what you think is familiar is the style of his clothes. And he has sort of very expensive looking clothes, but they are like big sort of cowboy boots, and trousers with lights and sequins sewed into them that look of a certain style, and a heavy leather jacket and a hat very similar to someone you've seen before, but much more expensive attire. And you even see that this gentleman has pistols holstered on his belt in a reversed grip, so he would have to draw in a certain way, just like someone you've seen. This guy looks
Ooh,
like a very,
damn.
very, very well-dressed version of Interrogator Carlos Midan.
That's his brother.
I mean, I don't mean he physically looks like him. His face is fucking nothing like him, but his clothes, it's a very similar style of dress.
Okay, Gunmetal City style.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Julia says, who would you like to meet? I'll introduce you if you like, or you can just mingle.
I think we could take them all, guys.
Yeah.
Simultaneous.
Go on, Derek.
So,
Oh, don't know.
now
Don't know.
now we get to the meat of the party. You can do what you want here. You can interact how you want with whoever you want. If you begin to act like I think would be against the etiquette rules you've been taught, I will probably make a dice roll to basically warn you off. But I will also be making random dice rolls. So you won't know when I'm rolling, but what I'm saying is some of the rolls I make you make might be a way of saying, are you sure you want to do that? Some of them may be red herrings. This all adds to the overall level of intrigue. So, where would you like to begin? I can give you any information you want as well. You know, you can ask for descriptions and what you thought of certain people again, and I don't expect to remember everything.
Should we keep as one group, or are we going to split Vlad and Mira up and split ourselves into two?
Etiquette says we should stay together as an entourage.
Yeah. I mean, when you look at everyone else is staying in groups. So maybe when the wine flows a bit better, people split up a bit. But for the time being, I think we should stay as a group.
Yeah.
Where are we
And
gonna
besides
start,
those
guys?
servants, can't spoke until spoken to, apart from between other entourage members. So we can't address someone else's lord directly.
So although we want to talk to Joyce Choir at some point, I think we need to not go straight to them. So should we start off with Varence? What do you say about him? Is he a propaganda?
He's a member of the Lord Governor Hax's sort of council. Lord Governor Hax is basically this sector lord. You know, the big cheese. He's the guy in charge of this planet and the whole sector. And this guy, Raphael Varence, is one of his council members.
Should we start there? 'Cause it's the closest one.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's also got no one talking to him at the minute, so why don't we go and and introduce ourselves to him to start with.
Yeah.
Wander over then, Gav.
Okay, that's where you're heading. I'm just going to go for a piss and do something with my cat because she's been
Head
annoying.
to the bar, get a drink, and then go talk to people, or do servants come and do that?
So
I'll
I'm
go
ask a
over
servant.
to him. Sure, yeah.
Is there a
One
bar?
man servant.
Oh. I've got to stay as a guard, but if you could get me one, I'll pay you back.
Mhm.
I'm sure they'll all be free of the drinks at the party.
So I imagine that there's somebody going around giving them, so I'll intercept it.
Okay, yeah.
That's
Keep your eye open.
that's the valet's task, isn't it? Kid?
Yeah, exactly. I've got to stand here and be a guard.
I'm going to stand here, look like I know about guns.
And I will stand here and look like I'm sort of being a guard as well.
What was that?
Because it's probably not a good idea for him to drink.
If you look at a distance at the jester, it looks like he's in pieces. It's like he's splattered on the floor.
Not yet.
Eric a chance.
There's a guy's chainsaw here. He'd have to pull the pistol.
He's hiding it in his left sock. Don't worry about it.
No, my
I
etiquette,
didn't eviscerate his left sock.
my etiquette lessons taught me that pulling your pistol out in public is probably inappropriate.
Okay.
A noble party.
So, are you all going over to Lord Raphael Verence?
I think we're going to stick as a group for now, Dave.
Yeah.
At least
Yeah.
at the beginning of the party, except for I think Ramsey might be going to try and get some beverages for us.
Right, well, there is servant girls walking round. You've passed one to get to Lord Verence, carrying just trays of drinks.
I've just got to grab one on the way past.
Yeah, can I go intercept?
Yeah.
And I'll go Alan and Mira a drink.
Okay. So you grab them a drink.
I'm just going to intercept one myself.
Okay.
I will abstain.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm only going to be like pretending to drink. I'm going to try and keep.
I'm going to
head.
hold
I'm
mine
just,
as well.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm going to have one to look like I'm drinking, but I'm not going to actually partake.
Okay, so is anyone actually having a drink before we do anything else?
I'll have one, actually. I'll have one.
Okay, give me a toughness test at plus 30. 40 if you've got Carews.
It'll be plus 40 then. Start off with Carews. Yay, I pass. Would have passed normally.
You're absolutely fine with your first drink.
Dick can handle his ale.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Julia, would you be so good as to introduce us?
Julia brings you over. Lord Verence sees you coming and has a moment of, casting his eye over you all. And then he notices Julia and a smile spreads across his face. And he bats this jester out the way who stumbles a few meters over here as you approach. He wears a riot of colours that shift and flicker constantly, and he's surrounded by a number of attractive ladies as well as his guards, and they continually laugh at every single word he says as you approach. His features have taken on the amorphous quality of someone who is engaged in frequent rejuvenate treatments, and his age is utterly unguessable. As you approach, he scrutinises each of you. Julia says, "Lord Verence," and curtsies before this regal-looking man. "How delightful to see you once again." And he turns and says, "Ah, Miss Strophs, looking lovely as always. Perhaps I could have the pleasure of a dance later this evening."
Rapey.
And Julia says, "As forthright as always, my lord, I would be honoured." Everyone make an awareness test at +10.
Yay.
Wow. That's not bad.
Dick, Ramsey, and Dericles.
Jesus Christ.
You notice as this rather strange man speaks, the two girls that are with him lean in behind him and whisper to each other and mutter, and then begin to giggle. Dericles and Dick, you not only notice this, but you also notice what they're giggling at.
Okay, I'm gonna look closer and listen.
It's Dick Pincher that they're giggling at.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Julia continues and says, "May I introduce, my lord, my cousin Vladimir and his wife Mira?" Lord Verence nods briefly at Vlad, but his eyes are firmly fixed on Mira. "On honeymoon from Finksworld," adds Julia. Lord Verence continues to stare at Mira for a few seconds longer than is needed to make things awkward. Then suddenly says, "I'm sorry, from where did you say?"
It's nice.
Thanks, world.
Finksworld.
Charmed, I'm sure. Thanks, world. Yes.
Out in the Reach, yes?
Yes, indeed.
Ah, Hiveworld. Ah.
Indeed, we supply the battlefield Colexus.
Yes, population 22 billion approximately. Run by old Paspalasifius, if I'm not mistaken. But officially, Lady Varkon holds the true power, it's said. Tithe grade, exactus extremis, if I'm not mistaken. Void ship armor, mostly. Correct me if I'm wrong. I've never been, thankfully. But is this your first time on Scintilla Mira?
Yes, it is. It's a fantastic place.
Full of fantastic people, isn't it?
I find it so far.
I must say, Mira, I can't. Are you sure it is your first time here? Because I feel like I've met you before, as though we share some connection, as though I've seen you in years before I saw you. Tell me, do you sense it too?
No, I do not. But that doesn't mean it's not true. If that's how you feel.
It's just that you look so familiar to me, Mira. Do you have family here, Mira? Besides the Strophs, I mean. Not family through wedlock, blood relatives.
This isn't where I'm from, is it?
No.
Not that I'm aware of, sir.
Strange, it's just I can't help but feel like we've met before.
Oh, that is very strange. Very interesting. Yes.
Well, anyway, so tell me, what brings you to Scintilla, Vladimir and Mira?
Well, this is something of a honeymoon. It is a journey we've made. We've always both wanted to come to Scintilla, to the capital, and such a fascinating place it is too, and so many fascinating people. But my main reason for journeying here is to add to my collection of fine pistolry.
Pistolry, you say?
This is something of a hobby of mine.
Interesting. Well, and he looks around the room and says, General Kaleem over there, he's a military man. I'm sure he knows a thing or two about weaponry and things like that.
I must insist upon a conversation with him.
Well, I'll take you over to meet him. Come.
Oh, you are too kind.
I would like both Vladimir and Mira to just give me a roll for etiquette here. So it'll be a fellowship roll modified by your lessons. So both of you get a plus 35.
Oh, for the.
That's a big fail.
I might do a re-roll.
You want to fate point it?
Yeah. Piss me off. What was it again? Fellowship.
With a plus 35.
This is probably fail again. A bit like that. Oh,
Big pass.
Nice.
okay.
So he leads you across the room to General Kaleem, who is over there, but I'm going to move him away from Wendy Cleaves for now. And you, with Lord Verence's entourage, sort of come in and surround General Kaleem.
Yikes. Gonna mob him.
Kill the cunt.
Oh.
So,
I
let's
can draw a
find...
pistol, put it to his head and fire.
Are you sure you want to do that?
I'm not going to do that, David. Just to kill the gun. I was just joking.
Oh, where's his notes? Oh no, where's his notes?
They were your exact words as well.
Yeah.
Being crass.
Why the fuck? I've missed him. I've somehow skipped him out, but I'm sure I haven't. No, please. Ah.
So tell me about your backstory, General Killian.
Well, I'm about to, young man. However, I'm just shuffling these papers. Very important, very important. He speaks a bit more gruff. He's a little bit like this. And anyway, Lord Refian Verence brings you in and goes, Killian, I'd like you to meet this gentleman. This is Lord Stroph's nephew, Julia's cousin, and his lovely wife. Mira. Yes, Vladimir here is something of a gun enthusiast. And General Kaleem
like to dabble.
turns and looks at you, and he's not a very tall man. He's only about 5'7", but he's quite wide, quite squat, big arms on him. And he's got some fancy pistol strapped to his hip. You don't know what it is. And he looks you up and down and says, guns, eh? And glances round and looks at your firearm and says, oh my, is that a monarch?
Why, yes, indeed. I am quite partial to the bolt technology of weapons. I have a small collection. Would you care to look?
I would like you to make a fellowship test with a... This will be a plus 20.
For bolt upon.
Yeah.
A bolt pod test, please.
I'm quite adept at bolt upon.
Oh, bolt upon. Look at this gun.
Look at the game.
Oh,
Look at
this
the
gun
barrel.
is so big.
He
Would you like to handle it?
he says, well, if I may, and holds out his left hand.
Okay, I
Spit on
shall.
it first.
And at the same time, sorry, what was that?
Probably better that he didn't hear. I shall not spit on it first. I shall hand it to him, and I shall hand it to him handle first.
As you do, he draws his own weapon and spins it round and hands you his pistol.
Okay, I shall make a good show of looking at it.
Okay, and he has a good look at yours. The weapon that he hands you is a much bulkier version of a bolt pistol. It's not as fancy as what you've just handed him. It's a better bolt pistol than what you're used to carrying. It's also a different mark. You don't really know what it is. It's slightly different in design, and it seems to have a bigger clip. but it is much better quality than yours. Yours is a decent weapon, you know, it's a standard issue guard weapon issued to officers, but this is fancy. This is a bigger, bulkier version of what you wield with fancy filigree on it. And he looks over your weapon and says, "Wow, this is exquisite, Vladimir. Tell me, where did you get it? They don't make many of these."
No, indeed. I came upon it on my homeworld of Fenxworld. It was a traveling trader.
Okay, I would like you to make another fellowship roll with a plus 35. Anyone else like to do anything while this is being said?
I can't really speak until spoken to.
No, I can't.
Okay.
We're locked in.
Well, you can now. You can talk to the.
Entourage.
Yeah, you're allowed to
Yeah.
talk to the entourage, sorry, yeah. It's entirely up to you. So he hands back the pistol to you and says, "Fenxworld, eh? Never been. Heard of it, don't know much about it. Do they have a lot of these sorts of firearms there?"
Well, as I say, it was a traveling trader. He came from off-world, so Fenxworld itself, it's quite an industrialized planet, but high-quality weapons are challenging to come by. But no, this
Yes.
man was a traveling trader. Came from off-world somewhere. He was a bit reluctant to tell me where he got it from originally.
Okay.
But as soon as I saw it, I had to have it.
I would like you to make a deceive roll,
Oh, shit.
modified by your etiquette fellowship bonus of 35.
Oh, balls. I'm going to use a fate point, please, though, Dave.
Okay.
Don't want to be caught out as a liar too soon.
Well, not me.
Oh, it's pretty shit. Better, but still quite shit.
Who are we
He
talking
says,
to? Sorry.
"This is General Kaleem. He's the officer, senior officer of the Scintillan Protectorate, the PDF."
Is he just by himself? I can't.
Yeah, he
Fine.
is. He's now surrounded by Lord Verence and his men as well, who have all just crowded round. He says, "Well, fancy weapons like that on Fenxworld. Perhaps I should pay a visit someday."
Perhaps you should. I'm going to change the subject. May I introduce you to my my pride and joy, Reg? I'm going to point to my shell crow with his fancy hat on,
Ooh.
and I'm going to try and change the subject from my deception.
Okay, I would like you to make a customs roll.
Custom.
So this is a fellowship test, but you get a plus 20 for your lessons.
So fellowship. Oh no, I've lost my fellowship for some reason. I think I might have overwritten it at some point.
Oh no!
Oh no!
I
Would you happen to
believe
have?
it's.
Oh no! I'm on Reggie's character sheet. That's why.
All right. Okay.
Okay, so 20, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why Reg doesn't have a fellowship because he's very easy
Should
to get
have.
along with.
Yeah.
What's Reggie's strength, Val?
I bet he's strong, like 5 or something.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Oh, he's got 10. He's got 10. There we go.
He's got 10 strength. Woo.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay. What did you say again?
What did I say? I said I was basically trying to change the subject.
Oh,
and I
yeah.
just said, may I introduce you to my
Introducing
pride
Reg.
and joy, my pet Reg.
He says, "Well, incredible. Yes. Is Reg on your shoulder?"
Yeah, oh, yeah.
And he's peering around and going, "I noticed him as you walked up. Tell me." And he reaches out a finger towards it. Obviously, Reg.
Oh, I wouldn't do that. I was
Oh,
going to say, all in a shock.
And he
No,
jumps
no,
back.
he's quite partial to the taste of blood.
Oh, the best hunters often are. He says, "Well, it's an interesting beast. It's I like its hat. Does it always
Very
wear that?"
fashionable. No. This is only for special occasions.
Ah,
And it's
intriguing.
specially made for the party.
Is this from? And he keeps sort of tentatively acting like he's going to reach out for the bird, and then remembers your warning. And he said, "So is this from Fankswell too? Perhaps."
You do like your fingers, don't you?
Oh, I mean, yes.
I'd keep them back if I was
Very
you.
well,
Yes.
very well. Yes, yes.
No, this creature is from some dirt planet, some backwater. Well, yes, you know, called Iacanthus.
I'm just gonna evil Vlad.
Rotten planet it is.
Says
So I've heard anyway. Rotten planet, too damn hot.
Canthos,
Muck
eh?
and savage. Yes, yes.
Never heard of it. Never heard of it.
No. But anyway, yes, again, another traveling trader, some shaman from Iacanthus. He was called, what's his name? Willie Pincher. Yeah, he traded with me, and I simply had to have it.
Dick's biting his lip.
Okay.
Yes, he loved the crows, did old Pincher. Couldn't get enough of them.
Crows, strange birds, crows. Strange birds.
Mm.
Yes, they don't exist on Scintilla anymore, of course. Not
No,
with
no,
all the
of course.
gas.
Acid rain.
Yeah, and all that sort of environmental catastrophe nonsense. Anyway,
The price we pay for progress.
exactly, or stagnation. However, and you spend, 10, 15 minutes chatting to General Kaleem. Is there anything in particular you'd like to say to him, or Lord Raffian Verence is there as well?
I'm going to ask him where he would recommend that I go to try and acquire weaponry for my collection.
He said, well, actually, as a matter of fact, there are numerous fine weaponsmiths around Scintilla, but if you wanted to get something straight from the horse's mouth, so to speak, gunmetal's the place. The vast majority of firearms in this sector are produced in Gunmetal City, but I hear it's currently under lockdown.
Oh, yes. Do you know why?
Something to do with gangs fighting. I'm waiting for a report from one of my junior officers. Fighting broke out yesterday afternoon. I've yet to hear from him.
Most interesting. Why, thank you. I mean, I don't have anything really more to ask. At the minute, we're just being seen and making some small talk. I don't think I've got anything specific to ask him. Has anyone else got anything that they need to ask? Or I know you can't ask to him, or that you want me to ask.
I'm just gonna grab another drink from the drinks maid as she walks past.
Okay. Are you going to drink that drink?
No, I'm gonna hold it for a bit and spark small talk up with a henchman opposite me. Just to do something for my life.
So, what, one of Lord Raffian Verence's chaps?
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is the guard walking past. Pincher, where are you, Pincher? I can't see you. Where the bloody hell's Pincher?
Somewhere.
Down at the bottom, I think.
Pincher, you bounder. Get up here. So I'll put you out there. So you grab this drink off this servant as she walks past.
And I'm going to offer it to the Valence guard.
He looks you up and down for a moment and says, I am on duty.
So am I. Monsieur.
Make a...
Deceive test? No.
It'll be a fellowship test with a -30.
-30?
Mm-hmm.
Mate, I was that bad.
Easy.
Get it nailed. What was that?
4.8 degrees of failure. He just looks you up and down, and you see him sort of assessing your weapons and your clothing, and then he just turns and looks straight ahead and says, you do as you please. I do not drink on duty.
All right, fair enough. Are you having a nice time at the party? I'm struggling for finding people to do, because all we do is watch our masters talk.
He sort of looks at you sideways for a moment, then turns his head straight ahead and says, it does not matter what I think of the party. My job is to protect Lord Verence.
All right, I understand. Well, once you take that stiff rod from Artyranius, come talk to me. We can have a fun time, and I'll walk out, turn around, and down that drink.
Make a carouse test, so it'll be your second drink, so this will be plus 30.
Plus 30, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're fine.
Fine.
And I would also like you to make a fellowship test. And this will be at minus 15.
Dun-dun-dun.
He doesn't say anything, he just turns and looks straight ahead, his eyes back onto his master.
Bro.
So, carry on, stick with the group and ignore him.
Okay.
He's not a friendly man. He's too busy with his job.
Is there anything else anyone else would like to do while talking to General Kaleem?
Okay. I'd like to speak to that variance person.
He's still here, he's still with General Kaleem.
Yeah.
What's his title again?
Lord Raffian Verence.
Raffian. We're not allowed to talk about work, is that right?
It's considered improper to talk about details such as production quotas, finances, things like that. But it's not impolite to ask what someone does or something. It's just impolite to ask for details.
Okay. Well, I'll speak to Mr. Variance and I'll say, my Lord Variance, what exactly is it that you do? What is it that you do here in Scintilla?
He looks around the room for a moment, looks at his guards and his two consorts, these two women, and they both begin to giggle into their hand. And he makes eye contact with each of his guards. Each of his guards just makes eye contact back and then looks straight ahead. And he goes, What do I do? I'm Lord Ravin Verence. I need you to make a fellowship test.
Oh dear. What a terrible faux pas. Half a degree of failure.
Okay. He says, "My dear boy, I'm a member of the ruling council of Scintilla. I answer only to Lord Hax himself."
How fascinating.
And tell me, Vladimir, what is it you do?
Well, I oversee the production of components, circuitry, and various composites that are supplied to the battle fleet. My family has many dominions over various production facilities, as does my wife Mira. It was an arranged marriage, you see, to combine our the production quotas of our house. But yes, we serve the battlefield collectors.
Make a fellowship test. This will be at a plus 35 for you, Vlad.
The battle fleet is always hungry, you see. It is never satiated.
We appear to be in similar industries then. My family's money comes from mining and also refining of ores that go into the production of components for Battlefleet Collectors. Perhaps at some point your family has processed some of my family's ore.
That seems most likely.
Anyone who wants to can make an awareness test.
Get on with this.
Sure.
Go.
Oh God! Every time.
Oh,
There's a surprise. Only 96.
So, Mira and Dericles, you notice this. Ramsey, have I had a roll from you? Oh, Ramsey's not there. Mira and Dericles notice it anyway. Mira, you notice it a lot more. Probably because it's happening to you. The whole time you're talking to this Lord Verence, he's sort of awkwardly staring at you, but it's the kind of thing that you only notice when you actually go to make eye contact with him and you see he's staring at you and then his eyes flit away. And then if you look away for a bit and look back, you see he's staring at you and his eyes flit away. And after the first 2 or 3 times doing this, he seems to be making a definite effort not to look at you.
Okay.
I think we need to make our excuses and leave this fucking pervert behind us. We'll make some polite excuses and try and mingle with someone else.
So yeah, I mean, you can. I'm assuming that all this, because of the work you've done, is basically just small talk and general chit chat. The only thing you need to role play is, the bits that you genuinely want to talk about. So.
Yeah, I think we'll make our excuses and leave.
I would like Vlad, Mira, and Dick to make a fellowship test for me. Vlad, you'll get a +20. Mira, you'll get a +25. And Dick, you'll get a -30 to this. Okay. That's not too bad. It's not too bad to say you had a -30.
Pretty bad there.
But you don't know what it is. It could be anything.
Could be anything.
Okay, so Julia, after a while, Julia senses that you're sort of getting a bit bored of talking to these people, and she comes in and goes, "My dear cousins, perhaps we should move on. There's plenty of people here, and I wouldn't want you to be monopolized by one person. Come, spread yourselves." And she begins leading you away and says, "You'll be talking to those 2 old bores all night. Where would you like to go next?"
Where should we go?
Well, I think I'd like to talk to Cedric. He sounds like a bit more fun.
Cedric.
Okay.
Cedric
And
de
the magician.
Ballbeck.
And the magician.
I just keep hearing ball bag every time.
Cedric the Ballbag.
Okay.
Okay, so you show me where you'd like to go, and I will do something about that. So you're going over to Cedric. Are you all going over to Cedric?
Yes.
Yes, I would like to speak to this one.
Julia's coming. Dick, are you going?
Yes, he looks the sort of man who spins plates.
Ramsey, are you going?
Yes, I will, in case my lord needs me.
Righty-ho. So you head over to...
I sense foul sorcery
This-
coming from this magician.
you head over to this gentleman. You see this man with the long cape with moons and stars on and the tall pointy blue hat. And he is literally doing shit magic. He's pulling fucking handkerchiefs from his sleeves and producing a dove from his hat, which, as he lifts the hat as well, there's just bird shit on his head. He's doing card tricks and just basically getting it very wrong and dropping the cards quite often. But Cedric de Ballbeck finds this fucking great. He's just laughing at him. He's completely unimpressed by the magic, but finding this guy funnier than the jester that's fucking out around on the other side of the room. And as you approach, he's proper belly laughing at this poor magician. And Julia approaches with you all and says, "Excuse me, is it Mr. Mr. Bolbeck? And he turns laughing and goes, de Bolbeck. Cedric de Bolbeck, as a matter of fact, and you're Miss Strophs, am I not? Lawrence's daughter? And she says, yes, I am. I don't believe we've had the pleasure of meeting before. And he says, no, just heard your name. And I've met Laurent, many times. And hello. And he reaches out to shake Vladimir's hand.
Okay, I shall give him a firm handshake. Bow my head.
Okay. And then he offers the same to Mira.
Take his hand and say, it's nice to meet you.
Okay. Both of you make... In fact, everyone can make a roll for customs. You all get different modifiers. Vlad, plus 20. Mira, plus 25. Ramsey, plus 5.
Is it fellowship or intelligence?
Intelligence. Ishmael, plus 60. Dick, yes. Dick, minus 30. And Dericles, minus 10.
I can't fail it.
Minus 30 for everything. What's
Oh,
that?
okay.
Anyway.
Plus 25 you were, yeah.
2 degrees of
Intelligence.
Okay, so...
60.
Yeah, plus 60. Trust me. It's a weird one. But, yeah.
9 degrees of
Dave, I
success.
passed.
I think you maybe did. So
Surprising.
everyone except Derek and Dick, you notice from your lessons on customs that shaking hands isn't something Scintillans do. You know that the professional, noble way of greeting is to simply introduce yourself, smile, and bow or curtsy. Shaking hands is not something that happens in the upper hive of Scintilla.
Okay, is that something I can not do then if I pass my customs test?
Yes.
Okay, so I'll reach out to extend my hand and then realise that it's a faux pas and I'll
Comb
have
your
a
hair
chat.
with your hand.
Yeah.
And when he switches to you, Mira, do you shake his hand?
I'll do the same. I'll not shake hands. I'll just bow.
Okay. He looks a little put out. I would like you both to make fellowship tests, please.
Oh no.
With
Take
I'm
his
shaking the hand.
Oh well, he's just a fucking drunk anyway.
both of you get plus 35 actually for this one.
It's irrelevant. Irrelevant. What is this? What is this, sorcerer? Sorcery is heresy.
Heresy, you say?
This
Okay.
magician.
Show me a trick.
He sort of he still looks a little put out that he didn't shake his hand, and then he turns and goes, well, this fine gentleman here is trying to convince me he has magical powers, but all I've seen so far is an incredibly inept clown show.
Are you a wizard?
And the man is currently trying to juggle, but he's just like dropping things everywhere, and he goes, yes, my lord, I am a wizard. Look at my hat. I am a wizard. And he's picking up his balls, and he looks absolutely terrified.
Derek.
I'm going to
Good job,
flash.
mate.
I'm just going to lean forward like with an eyebrow raised and like the repent thing's going to flash on my thing. Best not be
Then you hear a chainsaw starting, which you
Best
have
not.
this
No, I've got
all
it with
this
me.
time.
Best not be sorcery.
I get the scent of heresy off this one, Derek. Have a closer look.
I'm going to get really close to him and just start sniffing him.
Yes.
Give me an intimidation check. So it's a strength check.
Okay.
Derek pulls a flamer out
He
of
slaps
his
at me.
pocket.
Pulls out a bunch of flowers.
He just sort of looks back at you and goes, "God Emperor be with you, brother," and starts picking up his balls and just starts moving away.
And with you, brother. The Emperor is always watching.
And he just shuffles off. He goes and starts trying to do card tricks for Lady Wendy Cleaves, and he's equally as bad when he's over there.
So, Cedric, what exactly is it that you do here in Scintilla?
As little as possible. I'm sorry, your name was
Vladimir.
Vladimir. Yes.
Charmed.
I do very little, Vladimir. I'll be honest. I live a little of a life of relaxation these days. I've done more than enough in my life for my young age. I've recently returned from the Jericho Reach in service to the rogue trader Reginald Hosper, no less. Yes.
Yes, do tell more.
Make a fellowship test.
Sounds familiar.
And he says, well, I'm afraid I can't talk too much, state secrets and all that, working with the rogue traders. But yes, it was a very interesting time, let me tell you. But although not without peril, I was handsomely rewarded, and now I'm enjoying my spoils, shall we say.
Mm-hmm. So, I know very little of the people in this party. Is there anyone I really must talk to?
He says, has a look round.
Don't say that Ference chap. Gives me the creeps.
Ference, I like the way he looks at women. Who does he point out? He says, well, my dear boy, that sort of depends on what you find interesting, I suppose.
Well, I suppose I'm looking for some bit of juicy scandal.
Bit of juicy scandal. It says,
I need some excitement, some adventure.
Excitement and adventure? Well, if it's excitement and adventure that you want, my dear boy, you should have probably joined the rogue trader exploratory fleets like I did. You won't get much on Scintilla. The gentleman at the back there, and he points over at the chap in the top left, Sorcat Outhwaite, and he says, I fancy having a chat with that gentleman. He's from gunmetal, you know.
Oh, yeah?
I'm sure you've heard what's been going on. I would like everyone to make a intelligence test with it'll be plus 10 for everyone.
God damn it, I rolled today. That's another 100 in as many minutes.
I pass. Fantastic.
So Dericles passes.
100.
Dericles, you've heard a few other things mentioned about this. You've picked up stuff, overheard bits of gossip over the last few days. So has Mira.
Yeah.
You've heard a few bits and pieces about Gunmetal City. It seems in the past few weeks, violence has been on the rise in Gunmetal City, which is one of the biggest arms producers in this sector of space. No one really knows why. No one really knows what's causing it to happen. But at the minute, most of Gunmetal is not exporting any of its arms due to mass uprisings within the city. The gangs apparently have begun to ally together and fight against the local law enforcement and the Arbeits, and even against the Fanes themselves, where the guns are produced. And the Fanes' own troops have had to be deployed, household troops. You've heard quite a bit about this on the grapevine. It's been mentioned a couple of times tonight as well. But Gunmetal City is currently in a bit of turmoil.
Okay.
Can I relay this to?
No, I've not.
I can't interrupt. I can't interrupt, but Mira could. It's not my place.
Cool. Cool.
I'm going to say to Mr. Ballbag, I'm going to say, yes, yes, of course we've all heard about Gunmetal City. I mean, what do you think? We've been living under a rock. So, but yes, yes. I perhaps will go and speak to Mr. Abrogue. What kind of name is that, anyway?
Good plan.
No, he was talking about the other guy, the
no,
guy
no,
behind him.
Which guy? Which guy, sorry? Which guy was he talking
Sawcat Althwaite, the
about?
one
Sawcat
near
Alpha.
Quarterbroke.
Where's... okay, yeah, the guys he's talking to.
Yeah.
Okay, yes, yes, I retract that. I will go and talk to that Mr. Sawcat.
Okay.
I'll say. I'll say to him, "Hello, it's nice to meet you."
And he says, "Oh, hello, my dear."
Hello. What do you think to the party tonight?
Make a fellowship test with
Really?
a plus 25.
Getting mischievous now. Mischievous.
Plus how much?
25.
God. Ah. 1 1 + 1 degree of failure.
He says, "Well, yes, it's delightful, isn't it? Lovely, lovely. I like what she's done with the lights, turning them off." And he grabs a drink from a servant as she walks past, and a little appetizer from another one as it walks past the other way, and just stuffs it in his face and takes a drink and goes,
Very nice.
"Very nice."
I think I'll grab a drink
Okay,
and have a sip.
you're drinking the drink.
I think so.
Go on then.
Oh, am I rolling?
Toughness test with plus 30.
Oh. Gosh. Oh.
Yeah, you're fine.
Good stuff.
So you continue to have basically small talk with this guy for the next 10 minutes unless someone wants to do something specific. And I'd like you both to make a fellowship test with plus 35 for the etiquette bonus.
I made a roll. I'm making all my etiquette rolls, but no awareness.
Okay. Right. So, as you come to the end, towards the natural end of this conversation with Cedric de Bolbeck, is there anyone else you'd like to go to? Would you like to split up on your own and not have Julia following around? It's up to you. You can do whatever you want.
She's all right, isn't she?
Yeah, I think Julie's fine. I mean,
Yeah.
the next person I think I'd like to talk to is Mr. Sauerkraut up in the top left.
Mr. Sauerkraut. Oh, Sawcat Althwaite.
That's the one.
Yeah, with the gums.
I don't know about my...
Yeah.
If everyone's happy to come along, or...
Yeah.
Is everyone going?
Yes.
Okay. The jester scampers out the way as you approach. And this gentleman in the robe stays there as well, and you see them chatting away politely to each other as you approach, and they all both turn to you as one nod. Sawcat Althwaite looks to be in his 50s, but you also notice the familiar sign that bit of an amorphous quality to his face. He's maybe had some rejuve treatment, but he looks fit and well. He's not like grey skinned like a lot of them are that have had the treatment. He looks quite fit and active, and he's wearing a gleaming tabard that resembles the scintilla sector. Each planet and moon is mapped out on this tabard. And as you approach, he sort of scans round all of you straight away.
Is Julie going to give us an intro?
She is, yeah. And as you approach, he says, Well, Miss Stroph's always a delight. How is the old man, Julia? Not seen him for some time. He never got back to me about that little old shipment from Pry. I hope I ain't done nothing to offend your father. And Julia beams at the man. Says, Lord Outhwaite, what an unexpected pleasure. No, I'm afraid I can't answer for my father, but if he has offered you transportation to Pry for your wares, I'm sure he's looking into the matter. I'll mention it when I see him. Tell me, what brings you to Sibyllus, Lord Outhwaite? It's rare to see you outside of Gunmetal City. He says, oh, well, yes, trouble back home, you see. I'm here on business, trying to secure a new contract for lasgun barrels. Been in short supply since that little incident in the Dromar district last month. The Munitorum are breathing down my neck, and the guard won't let the lasguns quicker than the Gruk shits out protein pellets. Gunmetal ports are locked down. They won't let me back into the city till it quietens down some. Something to do with a gang or something being butchered in their own turf. Seems like the Arbites rolled in soon after. Something to do with Fiend Western Krupp tech being found on their hands, and the Western Krupps have called foul play. The other Fiends are accusing them of supplying the gangs to cause trouble. It's been a whole heap of grok shit, if you ask me. Pardon my language, miss. Been staying with Lady Borella. Seemed mighty rude not to attend a party while I'm still on the premises. Julia stands there as he talks like this, with this bad language in the very upfront manner in which he talks about his business troubles. And she goes pale than she normally is and looks a bit shocked and says, well, I never, I suppose gunmetal's always been a powder keg. Yes, those gangs, it sounds, exciting, dangerous. Oh, Lord Outhwaite, may I introduce my cousin Vladimir and his lovely wife Mira on honeymoon from Finkswell. Vladimir's a bit of a gun nerd, too. And he looks you up and down.
Charmed. I won't extend my hand this time.
Hello, it's nice to meet you.
And you too, and he gives you both a nod.
Yes, indeed, I am something of a gun nerd, you might say, and I am seeking to add to my collection on this journey, my first journey to Hive Sibyllus and to Scintilla in general. And I've been told I really need to get to Gunmetal City, and that's where the best equipment can be found. But there is problems there, I'm told.
He says, yeah, there is. I'm sure you just heard me saying to your cousin, it's a hell of a place right now. My particular Fiend seems to be safe for now. It has not been attacked. It's quite far from the fighting, but they ain't letting none of us in and none of us out until the whole situation gets resolved. I would love to have you over as guests. You could visit the ranch. You could see my collection.
Oh yes, your collection. Do tell me more. You are an enthusiast?
He says, my dear boy, I've been collecting firearms for over 120 years. As a matter of fact, I've got 3 Monarch bolt pistols just like the ones you hold, although not in those colors. And you notice he's never looked at your weapon, never indicated it. You never noticed him staring at it. He just clocked that as you walked over to him.
Aye, 3. Well, I was awfully proud of the 1, and you have 3, you say?
Yeah, but my dear boy, I got a lot more experience and time.
If only we all had enough time.
And experience. And time.
Time indeed. So perhaps we could arrange a visit. That would be most excellent. When do you think the trouble will die down?
Well, I suppose it depends entirely on if the... And he glances over his shoulder and he looks at Lord General Kaleem and says, if and the boys that are supposed to be suppressing such things ever get off their asses and suppress them like they're supposed to.
I see. I'm going to look over at the counsellor and just make a quick look at him and try and see what he's all about.
Okay, so this gentleman stood next to you, who you don't know the name of yet, but you'll know it soon enough, so it's on the screen. Who gives a shit? He's quite a large man. He's about 6 foot and he's maybe about 18, 19 stone. Most of it looks to be fat, though. He doesn't look like a muscly gentleman. He's got a large belly. And he's basically just standing, all pious, with a smile on his face, watching this exchange between the two of you.
Okay. Perhaps, oh no, I can't. That'd be metagaming.
So, what is it that you do?
I was thinking of maybe I can't talk, but I'd love to talk to the guy from Gunmetal City.
So you've asked, what does he do?
Yeah, what is it you do?
He says, well, my dear, as a matter of fact, I'm surprised you haven't heard of me. I am the sire to Fane Outhwaite. We produce a large amount of munitions for the guard, lasgun packs, some grenades. We used to make a lot of primitive melee weapons, but at one point, that was many years ago, that stopped. Do also produce a lot of the standard naval sidearms and equipment used on board ships by the men of the Navy, uniforms, that sort of thing. Yes, been in the business around 1700 years, as a matter of fact. My
Who's this
family.
guy?
This
Who's
is
this guy talking?
Sorka Outhwaite, the guy from Gunmetal, whose accent I've just changed, haven't I? I do apologise. That's why you're confused.
That's why I was confused, yeah.
Is he? Yeah, he's been talking a
Tell
little
me more
bit
about-
wrong.
Tell me all about the time that you spend in Gunmetal City.
The time I spend at Gunmetal City, well, I'll tell you about the time. The time that I spend there is mostly in an administrative capacity. However, from time to time, I like to leave the office and go hunting.
So, what hunting is there on this planet? I can't imagine there's much wildlife left.
Well, there's a little here and there, but that ain't where I go hunting.
All right, and where do you go off world? Is it?
Yeah, but it ain't far, you know. I got a little piece of land of my own up on the famous moon of the planet that everyone knows the name of. I'm sure
What's
I
the
don't
name
need
of?
to remind you of it.
The name of the most named moon in the galaxy.
It's the moon, you know, the moon whose name I've told you that
That's
I
the
am saying
Interpental?
right now. The name of the
A
moon.
different moon.
The moon that I can't remember the goddamn name of. But let's just call it the moon. The moon of
The moon, yeah.
Scintilla.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
The moon.
It says there's a little place I got up there. It's got its own little artificial atmosphere and a nice little safari. And I can go there whenever I please and hunt whatever my men have found for me to hunt.
Okay, I'm gonna take a risk now. I think because it's getting to that time of the night,
Okay.
and I don't want to metagame, so I'm going to try and use telepathy to speak to Derek.
Okay.
I'm going to say, can I say to him, one of the person we're travelling with is really interested in weaponry. I wonder, would he like to talk to you? Would you talk to him?
Who are you referring to?
Dick.
Don't just nod at the screen where there's 6 people's faces. I don't know what that means.
You talk.
My man Pincher.
My
you-
Okay.
Yes.
He looks you up and down. First of all, Mira, I'd like you to make a fellowship test. And Vlad, actually, for Sorkat.
Got a straight one.
He seems like the
Yeah.
guy who's not too much fussed about protocol.
Yeah, I think that's
Straight
probably
fellowship.
mistaken.
Yeah, just straight fellowship test.
Haha.
Is that one for me as well?
Not yet, no. You haven't actually interacted with him yet. Right. Okay.
That's not too bad, actually.
He
11, so I've got +4.
looks you up and down for a moment, Dick. Sort of glances either side of you at your weapons and goes, Western Crop Carnadon, eh?
Yes, my lord. I prefer it a lot. Got one of these in gunmetal myself. Did some time there with a friend.
You've been to gunmetal?
Yes, not so recently, actually.
How did you
I didn't realize.
How did you find it?
Go on, my lord. Exciting. People draw at you within a second, don't they? You know, you say they got dirt on the shoe, and they actually have. They'll pull a gun on you. But I found the events and times to be going on there quite concerning of what I saw.
Okay,
Things
Dick,
on the turn.
I want you to make a fellowship test, and this will be based on your customs practice, which was terrible.
Aha.
But
So Dave,
you-
can I telepathy Johnny at some point?
yeah, I'll come back to that in a sec. You gain +20 for this, despite how terrible you are at it, because you are familiar with gunmetal. So make that roll for me. Okay. I was just about to do Vlad's telepathy.
Well, Vlad's teleported. Ed, your arms are looking big and meaty. Looking good. So just complimenting Ed on his big arms.
Oh, sorry, that's fair enough. I'm not so big at the minute. I haven't been in gym for ages.
Yeah, still look good. Bigger than your average man's. I was on about your arms, Ed.
Obviously, mate, otherwise it'd be
Right.
twice as big as the average man.
Vladimir, would you like
Hello.
to give me your telepathy?
I would. I'd like to do 1 dice telepathy to Derek, please.
Oh no!
I'm going to use a fate point, Derek.
Oh.
And that is a pass, because I've got +6 in total.
Damn it.
It's a terrible faux pas to do a Perils of the Warp at a party, so I'm told.
That'd have been amazing. Right, what would you like to do with your telepathy?
I'm going to speak into Derek's mind. I'm going to say, Derek, my good man, this priest, this counselor Court, a brogue, and I don't think that's any sort of name at all, if I be truth be told. We've been told that he's a member of the choir. Perhaps you could spark up some small talk to him about some imperial creed, something or other, to get him to talk a bit, to maybe try and get him involved.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
I'm just going to look over and just nod and bow.
See if you can get him to tell us anything about the choir and what they believe and all that. See if you can get us an into them.
Okay, I'll. This might be a breach of protocol for me to go and speak to him directly, but I could always. I'm going to go and speak to one of these clerics, junior cleric.
Well, no, it's this guy beside us.
Oh,
it's Councillor Court Abrogue.
Okay.
I think he's the only guy that we know is in the choir. I mean, there could be others at the party, but...
Okay, have you already introduced yourself?
Well, not exactly. I think Julia's introduced our party to Sawcat, but this councillor, he's not really been doing anything.
Yeah, he's just sort of watching the exchange.
Yeah. I'm just thinking, just try and get him to speak a little bit.
I'm going to
Talk about some religious bullshit, would you?
sort of
No,
move, sort of move,
didn't
move
say-
I'm going to sort of move towards him and bow and try and get his attention as I move towards him.
Yeah, okay, so he sees you approach, and he sees you bow, and he returns it, and his hands are up his sleeves in that priestly manner, but he does bring his hands up to his chest. And he says, "Rejoice, brother."
Rejoice, for we are all basked in the Emperor's light.
Indeed, indeed we are. And what blessed light he does indeed beam down upon us.
Into our very souls.
Indeed, yes, our very souls are beholden with his joy and his love. Do you feel it, brother? Do you feel his love?
Often I feel the fiery flame within myself of the Emperor's love and his love for his blessed disciples.
I would
And
like
respect.
you to make a fellowship
Wish I-
test.
I
It'll be
wish
a
I brought the flame there.
charm test if you've got charm.
Burn this to machine.
And
Got
you get.
fellowship. I haven't got charm.
No, have you got anything fellowship based?
You have a pistol.
Yeah. Got intimidate. No, fellowship.
Not
Not
really.
strength-based.
It's a plus 15 to your fellowship anyway.
I've got an ability to sing. Can I sing a little hymn about the Emperor's lights? Like, it might be quite common that you might know.
What, like one of the more lighter? A lot of the Imperial hymns are quite grim, but some of them are lighter.
I want to sing one of the lighter ones. Sort of like hum one of the lighter ones, see if he recognises it. So I'll do that.
Okay.
See what happens. Yay!
Okay. You begin to sing the Emperor's Light, which is a very general hymn that applies to a lot of the splinters of the cult. And a lot of different splinters of the cult take different meaning from it. But the meaning you know of it is it's the Emperor is good and he will look after you, sort of thing. And as you sing, you see Councillor Court Arbroa is enraptured with your voice. And he just stands there looking into your eyes with his hands clasped before him, a beatific look on his face. And his smile widens and widens, and he begins to weep tears of joy as you speak. And as you get to the second verse, just past the chorus, you notice the room has gone quiet, and everybody in the room is watching you sing. You get to the end of the second verse, into the chorus, and you decide, maybe I should stop. This is getting a bit weird. And so you stop singing. And the moment you do, the entire room bursts into applause. Even the servants put down their drinks. Even the guards awkwardly shoulder their rifles and applaud you.
I think I'll join in with the applause.
I will turn around and I will humbly bow to the audience and just acknowledge them, and then make the sign of the Aquila. Blessings of the Emperor be upon this entire gathering. May the Emperor's light shine upon you all.
Looks like they're all in the fucking cult.
After 30 seconds to a minute, they all slowly stop applauding and go back to their conversations. And you can hear a lot of them are talking about the young priest in the corner with the strange mask and his beautiful voice, and how surprising it was. So you're going to talk to Court the rest of you are still stood with Sorkat. It's 5 to 11. We'll leave it there.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
Excellent stuff.
Good sesh.
cool.
Fresh.
Okay.